what's been kind of coming up. I should have followed my first mind. You know, and what happens when you follow your first mind. So we don't want to leave it just on a con side of always trouble. There's a lot of reward and benefit that we receive when you follow your first mind. And we're going to get into a particular individual as we're going through this. But first we're going to go through the mind of Yah. And the question is always asked, who can know the mind of the Lord? We don't claim that we can figure out everything he's doing and why he's doing it. But what he has shown us is that when it comes down to judgment, righteousness, and how to treat your brother, he said, I've given the prophets my mind and my understanding on those things. How and when he decides he wants to execute judgment or mercy, then that's on him. That part of him we can't know because it's way beyond what we can comprehend of knowing the mind of the Lord, because y'all, our judgment is always going to be tainted. It's full of vanity and it favors yourself, so to speak. So we want to get into the mind of the Lord, and he gives us simple instructions of how to know his mind dealing with a particular topic. So we'll be on point. I want to play the guessing game and say, I know the Lord is coming. Because now we're date setting. That ain't the mind of the Lord. When he told you, I ain't never told y'all a date. So y'all, with that, we're going to move on because we run a little bit behind. So we want to get right into Yah's mind, what he told us. We're going to hit a couple scripts, a couple quick hitters, and then we're going to go into the second mind of the tree of good and evil. Why do we tend to fall for that mindset after hearing what our first mind is telling us? So y'all, a lot of times, yeah, you'll see things happening in the scriptures. Some things that seem left field, it'll say the thing was from the Lord. So you may think, oh, so he told him to go do that bad thing? Well, it's correcting another issue. Because the Most High, what he does a lot of time is he kills two birds with one stone, so to speak. He left the spirits of the giants before the flood to torment evil people after the flood. Everything, they just don't sit and wait, you know, until he uses them. They're constantly being used, sent to destroy and to cause problems for individuals who continue to break the law. Those spirits are sent out to torment you till you get your mind right. So we'll start with Exodus 20.
Exodus 20.
Yes, sir. And we're going to learn the mind of the Lord. What some refuse to hear the mind of the Lord when they don't even want to hear these big 10.
The book of Shemot, Exodus, chapter 20.
And y'all, the mind of the Lord right here, because this was given to Moses for us to get understanding and what he commands. Keep my commandments, keep my commandments, keep my commandments. Well, you have to get to a starting point, you know, when that was introduced to us, so to speak. And this is the
Shalom, y'all.
The reintroduction, shalom, y'all, of the Most High's word to us to gather us back together, to get our minds back together. Different priesthood at this time, but same instruction set of laws. Only thing we switching is priesthood, y'all. Go ahead, man. Where you at?
The book of Exodus, chapter 20. Let me start verse 1, brother.
Yes, sir.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1. The 10 Commandments. And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
So this is the first thing you got to get in your mind, what the Most High is saying. I don't care who it is. Your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your wife, your children. Nobody before me. And y'all, and that's a very serious thing we really truly have to look at. You may say to yourself, well, he don't really mean that like that, do we?
Right.
He means it exactly like that. You're not going to pray to me and then give my glory to somebody else.
That's right.
Right.
You're just using my name in vain then. Go ahead, bro.
Before, can I speak on this?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Yeah.
Before don't mean like 1 is before 2, or 3 is before 4. You feel me? If you get into it, what he's saying is don't have nothing in my presence. Like, don't disrespect me. You feel me? You're not, in other words, you're not to be worshiping no other God.
That's right.
That's what he's saying. Not like he can be number 1 and then Buddha can be a close number 2.
Right.
You feel me? Or whatever it is that you worship can be a close number 2. He's saying, what he's saying right here is don't serve or worship no other God. And you get into the before where it actually means to my face. Like you disrespecting me by doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's what before actually means. So, you know, not for us to take it simply and be, okay, well 1 is before 2. You know what I'm saying? I can have him as number 1 and have Nike, the goddess of victories too. That is not what he's saying. He's saying don't worship no other God. Don't disrespect me.
Right.
All right. Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
See, and so this is very important as well, because there's a lot of things underneath the earth that's going on.
Wow.
There's a lot of things that's going on under the water that's going on that he reveals, that we're going to get into some Job 38, where we're going to understand the mind of the Lord. You know, that he's saying you can't even make images of these because they'll be worshipped. This is why the Chinese worship the dragon, or what we call Leviathan, that comes from the water. You know, or dinosaurs, or these type things that's, you know, that you rarely see. So when you rarely see things, people tend to want to worship them and bow down to them. Well, these are creatures or creations of the Most High. You can't bow to them. India, anything born abnormal getting worshipped over there. A baby with 3 kneecaps and 2 elbows and 4 arms gonna be worshipped. I don't know what's going on in India, but every time you read in the Daily Mail of deformity and things going on, it's happening over there in India near that CERN machine. Something's going on over there. They just had a pig with a man's head on it. And they already got it in a glass case worshiping it. I'm talking about a full face of a man with a pig body.
Spiritual wickedness in high places.
Yes, sir. And it says not to make any image of those things, because it's so easy to worship them and get them locked in your mind. And so every time you think about the word of the Lord, a picture pops in. What should pop in is what we're going over right now.
No doubt.
Words that tell you don't do that. If you do, this is what's going to happen to you. Do this, and this is what's going to happen to you. That what should pop in your mind whenever the Most High name come up. But what a lot is coming up is titles. You got to say it this way. You got to say it this way. Or they paint a picture of what they say the Most High look like. Ain't nobody ever seen it. So how you know what he looked like to even make an image of him?
Yeah.
And Satan is going to use that on us because we love it so. Something that we can have right there. And it's by no coincidence that organized religion have those 3 pictures structured right above where you look up. You're looking at your pastor. He's in the chief seat. Now you're looking up. Jack Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy, or white Jesus, you know, right here. So when you sick, everybody close your eyes in prayer. What's the last thing you just saw? So that's the image that's locked in here. Y'all took me 3 to 5 years to get it. I'm talking about burned out, or be what we call deprogrammed. Debriefed to get the image out of your mind, that whenever you hear the word of the Lord, no image pops in your mind. Nothing can be compared to it. That's where we have to keep our focus on. Nothing in comparison to his power and his majesty and magnificent. What we gonna compare to? Go ahead, bro.
And it's crazy. Like I say this too, Dan. It's crazy because everything that man worship outside the Most High is something that man made.
Yes, sir.
Like it may be something he looked at and then carved out and structured. You know what I'm saying? But he made it. He sweated over it. You get your kneecap dust and bowing to it or something that he made. He got imperfections. He got all that. You know what I'm saying? But they're trying to recreate the image and likeness of the Most High. In the beginning, man was made in the image and likeness.
That's right.
Of the Most High. Now he's telling us not to make any image or any likeness of anything in the heavens to worship it. That's the cornerstone of all idolatry. That's what goes down. They make an image. A man made the image. You know what I'm saying? And it comes some type of doctrine attached to it. And then it's just a stronghold that gets planted in your mind. And then you're a full-blown idolater at that point.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh thy El, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, until the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
So we see, if you even attempt to bow down, the punishments ain't just gonna stop with you. There's a third and fourth generation. That's how long it takes it for it to get it out, or what is called get it out your system. You're talking about if you started this, then your great-great-great-grandchildren is going to end with them. So y'all, we have to be extra careful of what we're letting come out of our mouth, what we're teaching, because you're putting this on generations that may come after you, 2 of them after you've been dead. You think it ends with you? No, you done passed on something that's going to carry on. And we see it with these kingdoms today. When they set up the New World Order, they was talking this in the early 1900s.
Right.
They didn't think that, oh yeah, we got 20 years. They knew how long it was going to take. How many generations we going to go through to get to it. But I'm going to die believing that we going to set up a New World Order. So y'all, in like manner, we have to look at these things and understand that the Most High say, this is forever. And I mean, if you get tired because you ain't seen me, you're tired of the wind blowing, don't get your hand and an ink pen in it and decide to draw me closer to you. You're going to draw the Most High farther away from you. Because he rather have obedience than sacrifice.
Right.
And a sacrifice of making an idol is going to kill you. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
You see, what he's saying is showing mercy to thousands of them that love me. And we know love, according to all of 1 John 14, is the keeping of the commandments. So those that love the Most High keep his commandments, and he will show mercy to you. Because everybody sitting in here except these children know, ooh, that was in the Bible, I would have been dead. If this had happened and we were still under that, I'd be dead. Or on the flip side of that, there was no freedom of religion, like Mel always say. I could have been lost my life, but I would have lost it then for the Most High's sake, the kingdom's sake. If Boko Haram get up in her or ISIS, they gonna ask you point blank, who do you believe in? No stumbling. Better come correct. Because they looking for quick answers or they gonna blow your head off, y'all. This is where we're at. Prophets face this. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 8. Verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy Elohim in vain, for the Most High Yahweh not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. So
when we're talking about vain, we go through all of Ecclesiastes. It means worthless. When you make his name worthless. Now, we got a lot of people are saying that you have to say it this way or you're taking his name in vain. If you say JC, if you don't say Yeshua, or whatever else, you are taking his name in vain. That's not what the script is describing, y'all. This is why the Most High say, I'm going to let you know my mind on certain issues. I'm not going to leave you abandoned or stranded with understanding about me. So hit that verse 7 for me again, just a little bit more.
Verse 7?
Yeah.
Verse 7?
Yeah, you was on 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy Elohim in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Now,
Ezekiel 36:16 say that we got put out of the land because we took his name in vain. We profaned his name. Now, we're in our land. Everything is running together. So what name did we call on that all Israel in unison called on the wrong name? This half was that or this half was that? No, it had nothing to do that, but what it has to do with is the very chapter that we're in. Saying we love the Most High, making graven images, calling on other gods, and then wearing the cloak of Israel. And saying we're keeping the law, statutes, and judgment. But the other name that we were calling on, the practices showed what name we were calling on. Because everybody of notes, I don't care who it is, even Aleister Crowley say, do as thou will. He still has a book that you study from to learn how to do as thou will. The Lord, the God of Adonai says, do this. Well, what I'm telling you is, don't worry about that. Get your freak on. Chapter 1 of the Devil's Bible. Get your freak on. So y'all, it's when you break it down and you go and serve them, you are actually practicing. You're going letter by letter over the instructions of how to worship that God.
That's right. So it ain't
it's serious.
So it ain't just in what you saying.
Right.
It's in what you're doing.
It's what you're doing. Because it always comes with a set of instructions. Halloween comes with a set of instructions. Easter comes with a set of instructions. Christmas comes with a set of instructions. So that you understand how Satan, he'll have you serve, which is your second mind. And we're going to get into that as well. What's going on, baby?
You said it's like you're carrying a brand name or something.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
We carry a brand name. When we say we Christians or we believe in Yahushua, we have to represent or carry it the right way because of the name. If I'm out here gambling, I'm still stealing, I'm still robbing, or whatever, right? But I know I'm a Christian, or I know I'm an Israelite, and that's profane in that name.
That's taking his name in vain because you're saying it's worthless to me at this point. All I'm doing is just reading ink on paper. I'm not taking any of it to heart. So my mind can't get in tune with the Most High's mind. Because I want to worship what I want to worship. I'm going to use this as a starting point to draw men in. That's how everybody get it done. But once you get into it, and once you see what you're chasing, you have to backtrack. Get your mind refocused. Be born again and get back into these words again of what he's commanding you to do. He's not commanding you to serve no other God, nor to even serve your own self. You can't become a God to yourself. Men have made themselves gods. But every one of them gonna come with their own list of rules, and that's what he's gonna judge every man by if you bow to another God. He's gonna tell you this is what that God requires, and you follow these steps. Just like the Masons and everybody else. Let's keep reading, man. Where you at?
I'm in verse 8.
Yeah.
Verse 8. Remember the Shabbat day. Remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy.
See, and that's a remembrance. If we coming out of Egypt, how are we remembering the Sabbath day? But he wants us to remember back from the beginning to rest. To rest this weary body. Take some time off and recharge it. Reboot your system, so to speak. Let it go into hibernation for a period of time so you can clear all of the viruses out and solely focus on the Most High. During this time, you have to remember to do that. And if these are like some are saying a lot of times, well, we got the law of Mount Sinai, well, what's talking about remember? Where you get it from? Exactly. To even remember? Go ahead, man.
Verse 9, 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work.
See, so it's telling you there's not so much as resting of it. It tells you why you're resting. Because he wants you to get your hands dirty, so to speak, first spiritually. Getting off into this, spreading this word, and then laboring so you may eat in your household. 6 days at max, you need to be doing that. 7 days is non-stop. It's like if anybody tell you, I work 20-hour days. What's the first thing pop in our mind? When do you sleep? Because 20-hour days, a 40-hour day, and then you add 60 on that, so that's 3 days with 12 hours of sleep. Who gonna make it off of that? The body is gonna go, it's gonna shut down because the immune system gonna break down. Shalom, shalom, get in. So go ahead, bro, what you had, Greg?
Even if you're trying to fish for souls, men for the Most High, you gotta take a day off.
Well,
day of rest, right?
Well, what we're talking about is the Most High remember the Sabbath. It's the holy day, it's the set apart day. It's the time that you recharge. And you do good works on the Sabbath day, so you don't stop teaching anybody on the Sabbath day. You basically turn it up on that day.
Oh, okay.
No servile work.
No servile work, because you won't be able to turn it up with that on. You're going to be continually starting over again, and before you know it, Monday's right back here again. We right back on the grind again. So when will you have time to truly turn it up? Because you have to get a just balance of keeping the Lord's work going through the week as well as feeding your household. So there has to be a just balance there, and then that day you take off solely given to the Most High. Go ahead, Matt.
Verse 10, but the seventh day is the Shabbat of Yahweh thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Shabbat day and hallowed it.
So he rested from the physical labors, so to speak, of creating the world, which was done with the voice of his mouth. But if we're imitating this in like manner, and then he rested on the Sabbath day, but work didn't stop there. Did it stop when he say he rested? Next we see Adam being brought into the garden and work is still being put in. But just the labor, we got completion of what we need done. Now it's time to put in the work for the Lord. A lot of times, y'all, when we just had this feast day of Pentecost, when we say the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few, it's a lot of work to pull off any event with hundreds of people. You have to get that prepared first, and then we go into rest period, so to speak, and just teach the word at that point. But if everybody came to a feast day, we got all the chairs stacked up here, we got all the food stacked here, and everybody start breaking off each other, when is everything gonna get set up? The Messiah, when the Last Supper, he said, it's a man got a room ready. Go tell him, get that room ready for me, and we'll be up there shortly. So he wasn't like he was standing around while they moving chairs and bringing out food. You just standing there like you waiting at a restaurant saying, how long is it going to be? 45 minutes. No, it wasn't that. When they came in and sat down, they broke bread, they was enjoying, and then they got into that word. Spiritually and physically, you're satisfied. So now you got attention focus, so to speak. Yeah. I can hear what's going on. But if chaos is going on, everybody is moving and grooving, you can't get the word going. So we tell everybody, when you get out here to these feast days, we need hands on deck. That's truly what we mean. Or you have individuals that come out, first thing they do is pop open a script and they got 10 people over here. You just took 10 laborers away. And you're preaching to the choir. They're out here. They know it's out here about a feast day. What are you talking about at this point? Set your bag down. Come over and say what we need to get done so we can pull this feast off. So we don't get 2-3 hours behind. Where else is labor needed? Once we settled and everybody's in the groove, then break it out. But everything is prepared. Go ahead, bro. Where you at, Matt?
I'm in verse 11. Yeah, verse 11. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Shabbat day and holiday. Verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother.
Right.
That thy days may be long upon the land. Yahweh thy El giveth thee.
So it's telling you right off now, we just had the first 5 or so, you know, and now we're of the Lord, commandment of the Lord, that look, this focus you have to have on what's greater than you. And it gets down to honoring your mother and your father to the point that where you never lose sight on that. Because if you lose sight on that, you're going to lose order. And honor is respect.
Right.
Respect your mother and your father. Respect don't mean take abuse, walk away if they're abusing you. But you can't stand back and cuss them out like y'all birth certificate got the same date on. Your parents? No, the Most High say that will show a bad example. You would disrespect my name if you did that. Because if you're doing that with your earthly parents, I know what you're saying about me publicly. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not what?
Thou shalt not kill.
So now people will say, well, what about Ecclesiastes 3:8? There's a time to kill. War should have never been if Adam hadn't sinned. This commandment wouldn't be in here. This commandment is added for transgression. It grieved the Most High's heart that he had to put everybody down in the flood. It said it grieved his heart that he had to do that. He thinking, this people just ain't gonna learn. Y'all, and this before Israel. Men are just out of control and do not want to obey the commandments of the Lord to live forever. Our mind is bad because we have the second mind mentality. And we're gonna get into who controls that. And y'all, we're gonna speed this up just a little bit. I want to just get through these commandments. Go ahead, brothers.
Verse 14, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Right.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Right.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. So
it ain't saying you can't covet. It's just saying this coveting is off limit to you.
It belongs to somebody else.
What does covet mean?
Covet the desire of what belongs to another. I wish I had his car. Not I wish I had a car like that and I'm gonna go save my money up, because they don't just make one.
Right, that's right.
They got different colors, all different kind of models. But if you're saying, I wish I had his car, what is it about his car? I wish I had his girl.
Right, his ox.
Yeah, his ox.
Servant, his maid servant.
I wish I had that.
Well, you can get your own.
The negative side of covenant is like envious.
Yeah.
Being envious of somebody. Yeah, it's the fact that it's his, that's why you want it. You know what I'm saying?
And the key is and also to bear false witness against our neighbor, and our neighbor are commandment keepers. You know, when you bear false witness against them, and usually you're going to do that with one witness. And when you know a cloak of maliciousness is on you, you done got away with one witness on a crime, and they didn't catch it, and you move further. See, that's a sign you cheating. Because you ain't playing by the rules no more. He did what? Where you hear that from? And don't quote me on it, man. I just out there in the streets or something.
I ain't the one to gossip.
I ain't the one to gossip. You ain't heard it from me. I'm not the one that's tail bearing. I'm just passing tail bearing. No, you a tail bearer.
I'm not the one tail bearing, I'm just passing tail.
Go ahead, bro. Where you at?
Almost said it comes as a real strong commandment because it leads to breaking a lot of commandments.
Shalom, y'all.
If you actually look at all the commandments, you break one of them, then you break them all. You kill somebody, you got a lot of cover it up.
Yeah, you do.
Like all of them.
It's a continued slippery slope that you're facing. What you got, bro? Yeah, it's just basically like David coveted Bathsheba. The Lord gave David 8 wives. He said, I gave you, and I would have gave you more. He said, but what is it that you had to go and take this man's wife? He said, I'd have gave you whatever you asked me for. But what is it about his that you got greedy about? And had to have his. Not only that, but then, like you say, the next commandments come in, killing, and adultery.
And lying.
And lying. All of them was entangled into that one deal about coveting what belongs to your neighbor. Now, was he thinking, oh man, that Hittite shouldn't have his Hebrew princess anyway? What is Bathsheba doing with that Hittite, that black African? Was that on David's mind?
Nah. Bumping and grinding.
There's nothing that's listening to her, but what we see is that he saw her baby. He got a glimpse of that.
Quiet.
Yeah. And look, y'all get a glimpse of everybody in their panties they call bathing suits. Or on the beach, you look at somebody, but your mind have to be focused that it don't focus in. Eyes are for looking, just not for lusting.
Yeah.
So because somebody naked, you're going to use the excuse that caused me to sin, your second mind will tell you to have that excuse ready. Lord, you made these eyes. What you making for if I couldn't look?
That's that second mind, right?
That's that second mind.
Hey, Dad, you heard about over in Israel, the slut stroll?
The what?
You heard about over in Israel? The slut walk?
The slut walk in the Holy Land.
A whole bunch of feminists got mad, said they just tired of, being treated a certain way. So they all stripped butt naked and start walking through the streets of Israel. You feel me?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
And just was basically screaming at the top of their lungs, saying they, ought to be respected and, they're virtuous.
Butt naked.
How are you?
Butt naked, huh?
You're jack naked. How are you?
Right. What you
Virtuous. It's crazy, man.
What you got, Ben?
Verse 16 says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Yeah.
Are you saying that just against thy neighbor specifically?
Well, your neighbor, one who keeps the commandments is your neighbor. When we get into Leviticus 18, all throughout Leviticus, it breaks down who your neighbor is. Deuteronomy 10, your neighbor is one who keeps the laws as yourself. He's neighborly to you. He can live by you. You follow the same laws. There ain't gonna be contention like you couldn't. If a neighbor is a Ku Klux Klansman that live next door to you, that ain't gonna be your neighbor.
So what are you saying, like it's okay to bear false witness?
No. But see, because these are about a set apart people. So it never gives you a pass to go break the law with somebody else. Oh, I can break the law with them. Not when the whole thing is to bring everybody under one umbrella in the end of things. Because Zechariah 14, all nations have to come up. So you can't have them come up and then slay. Or we fall to what caused Levi and Simeon to lose the birthright because they slew a man in their anger. Yes, the Lord had ordered to hit on them, but because Jacob made a covenant with them and they slew him after a covenant was made, it made it look like we did the same thing they did to the Indians, put smallpox blankets on them and then killed them, and saying we were backing it with the commandment of the Lord. No, he don't play funnies like that. You give somebody my commandment, then it's best you work to bring them back up to par, because you don't give it unless you're sure. Yeah. Just like we can't bid anybody Godspeed and they say they hate our God. You can't say God be with you and they go away. Nigga, I don't want to hear that no more. Every time I come over here, you talking this, man. Man, put on some BET and get the bones out, nigga.
Hey, man.
Well, bro, we ain't doing that today, man. I thought, we break down some scripts, man. I'm trying to let you see, man, I'm out of here. All right, bro, God be with you. No, you can't at that point because he's denying the scripture. So I can't ask God to be with him at that point until he's ready to receive. Or you casting your pearls before swine. So in like manner, is never room you can do this to somebody else. We can't do that to nobody else. That's what they're doing to us now. Y'all ain't real Americans, so to speak. So that's why we treat y'all like that. But that came from them extending the wrath of the Most High against us and holding themselves not guilty for doing it.
Okay, I don't want to go too far.
Go ahead.
It's got word is, you know, we're not supposed to swine. We feed it to the heathens. We got word is it says, you know, we can't eat swine, right?
We can't do what?
We can't eat pork. We can't eat
Right,
pork.
right.
But it said we can feed it to the other nations.
You're not supposed to touch it.
No, see, and when you're saying feed it to the other nations, they had certain things that got old, you know, or wasn't as fresh as other things. Well, other nations are starving. But look, what you'll never see, I haven't seen, is it worded like if you see a swine, give it to another nation. No, it don't say that. It's usually talking about the foods that we're eating. If a cow fall on the side of the road and he died in itself, you can feed that. Basically, if a cow have a heart attack, you can give it to another nation because they're not set apart. But a cow with a heart attack may have a disease or something going on with it. So it can't be used for sacrifice as well. But meat can't be wasted either. That you got other hungry people on the nation. The only thing we can't eat is roadkill. We can't give nobody no roadkill. Man, I run over a deer back there. We're loaded on the back of the truck. There's some Mexicans or some heathen over there. We're going to throw it off to them. It looked like they was having a barbecue. You can't throw nothing over them with tire tracks on it.
I say that because that's what they do to us.
Huh?
I say that because that's what they do to us.
And that's what I'm saying. So the Most High was showing us when he put us in these captivities of how we would be treated by a first nation, that they're going to go opposite of everything you were taught how to treat somebody. But the bottom line is most of it's going to be dealing with your own household. He's going to handle these nations that's doing that to us on the sixth side. But we got to be concentrated on our neighbor. And our neighbor is still an unconscious Israelite because we're working to make them conscious. Everybody in here know why we in here. So what we who we working on? Other than somebody just start telling private sin that they need to straighten out. Ain't nobody need to be doing that. Especially the ones you're supposed to go in the closet on. So y'all, it's a work in progress for us to continue to show this light from that perspective. Is that good? Yeah. Go ahead, Matt. What verse you in? Is that it? Is that all of them? Verse 18 you at?
Yeah, that's all.
Hit verse 18, just right there.
Exodus 20 and 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moshe, speak thou with us, and we were heard. But let not the Most High speak with us, lest we die.
So they have clear understanding that when they're hearing this thumbling and this roaring, he's to be feared. You should be trembling at this because that's going to make you tremble when you hear this. But they like, you go talk to him. So they're in clear understanding of his wrath. I don't care who it is today. What do they say? Oh, you guys are talking about that God of the Old Testament. What makes them say that God of the Old Testament? Because of his wrath? Now look, they'll accept the wrath of the Most High in the God of the Old Testament if your house is damaged and they don't want to pay off the insurance. Oh, that's an act of who?
God.
They don't say it's an act of Mother Nature, do they?
Right.
Do they say it's an act of Zeus? They don't name. They say, look, this is more powerful for us and we're excluded from paying you off for this. Because there's a higher power that caused this problem. Oh, okay, so y'all are in the program. Y'all just using it to your benefit.
That's right. That's right.
So you know that F5 come through there. Of biblical proportion. Y'all hold there. Proverbs 30 and 5, y'all, because what we have to get this understanding of is this law. And this law was given to Adam. This same law was given to Adam the same exact way. All of the archangels got this law the same exact way. Don't make no other gods before me, because he's naming all of the realms of the universe, ain't he? In heaven, on earth, beneath the sea. He did that to everybody. Because you got seas above the firmament in heaven. So y'all, he's letting everybody know this law. Once you understand this law, everything else is measured by, because now you're on the mind of the Lord. And he says, I will have mercy on them that keeps my law. So this is meaning now we have to make sure we understand his mercy side. When does he give me breaks? Do he give me break if I keep making the same sin over and over and over and over and over again? Will he continue to spare me? When does his mercy run out? So these are the things you have to study and see where his mercy run out, so you don't wear out his mercy. And y'all, we got to think that when we was coming up to wearing out of mercy of your parents, man, your mama told you to get out? Boy, you must have really messed up. Your mama put you out? Because usually the daddy, the mom, I'm going to talk to your daddy, just go over here to my house. I'm going to call you. Come on, man. Now the boy, he's a young boy. He's trying to be. The mama tried to talk to him. But when the mama puts you out, I don't care who you tell, they be like, man, what you do? Your mama put you out and told you never come back here? We're going to get into a little bit of Luke 15 as well on the prodigal son. I want to make sure I do that. But y'all, this is what we're saying, the mind of the Lord. Once we understand this Exodus 20, any versions of Bibles, go right there. That's your measuring stick. This is when he talked to him and he voiced his commandments, not his suggestions to everybody. Check every Bible and see if the Bible is tampered with, it's going to be tampered here. This way you want to look. Have y'all ever heard anybody say tampering in Exodus 20?
No.
If he tamper with this, y'all, we home free. If this changes, thou shalt kill as thou feel.
Yeah, that ain't a body.
It's going to be a problem with this, y'all. And these are just 10 that we just run by somebody. Can y'all name them in order? You know your ABCs. You know your favorite song. How long been ABCs? 5, you in kindergarten when you learn. That's a lot of years, but you still can call them off. You can still call off your favorite song. You can still, like the Pledge of Allegiance and everything. Why do we have a problem with life? Calling off life. Rattling off life like this, like it's on my first mind. Why is all the second stuff, my second mind, I can rattle off like this? Why is my second mind clicking like this? What you got back there now?
Like you always say in the scripture, law has become a strange thing.
Yes, sir. It become a strange thing to us because we're taught not to study it. Don't look at that Exodus 20. If you look at that, you're going to have to do right. Don't look at that. What you got, D?
Malachi means to say that everybody go to Sunday, whatever they were, to say the priest all come out his lips. They don't say nothing about the law in the church.
So you have no idea what the guidelines are. You have no idea who a neighbor could be. You have no idea what the Lord requires. So next it is, here's your second mind. This is what the Lord really telling you. Don't chew no gum in here. When you go to the bathroom, this finger high in the air and tip lightly. So you get a whole nother set of instructions, y'all, once the instructions of the Most High is gone away with. Y'all, and this is what we're going, so you don't have your first mind. It's either the commandments of men, which is led by Satan, or it's somebody else. It's second mind doctrine. Let's read some more. Where we at? Did we finish that?
Call
Proverbs 30. Yeah, that's what I want. Proverbs 30 and 5. And then I want to hit a little bit of that Job 38. And then we're going to just go into the mind of Satan. And then we're going to get right into how to maintain your first mind. Y'all, this is a battle up here. I'm telling you, you could be just watching TV and all of a sudden, some could come in so crazy left field. You like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why am I thinking about that? Like, what is that? Get the hell out of here, Satan. It's the only thing you can say up here, because you can't look at nobody else. You be looking like this. What the hell is wrong with you? My second mind clowning. Go ahead, man.
Proverbs 30 and 5. Proverbs 30 verse 5. Every word of the Most High is pure.
Every word is what?
Pure.
So y'all, if we start with the law, if we know that all of the rules are pure, y'all, it's impossible for it to be tampered with, and this ain't tampered with. So it's an all or none type thing. So how do I know if the instruction is okay? Now we just open the door for Satan. Why is the lake of fire for him? If it's tampered with. Maybe he read some of them tampers right and went off. No. We know he did. So in like manner, we can't play that game with ourselves. Go ahead, Matt.
Every word of the Most High is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add thou not unto his words. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee. Found a liar.
See, so we can't add to the word, because you're going to be found a liar. Every doctrine that we see out here, this second mind doctrine, they have to add to it, because it's, like we're saying, it's loaded with a lie here or there. Reincarnation, loaded with lies. Joseph is the daddy, loaded with lies, because we have to add or take away. Oh, we can't use that. We got to take that out. The Romans put that in. Pull that out. It's an add and take away. This is all it's doing. How at that point do you trust anything? And never, if I ask you, have you ever tampered with the law? Oh, so you telling me the devil has a conscience? So he know what not to mess with. And then he mess with the rest of this. But you trust him enough that the ones he say, I ain't touching, he do his hands like this. I didn't touch them scriptures right there now. Now, I may have messed around in Romans 5, but I ain't touching that. I didn't touch that. And you believe that.
Right.
Where we at, man? Is that it for that? Let's get a little bit of this Job 38, y'all. We only going to read a couple verses. I was going to read the whole chapter, but this is the Most High getting into Job about his mindset and when we ought not go, because it's going to make us add. Because you can't get back to day one, to the Ancient of Days. Well, where did God come from? So now you got to listen to your second mind. And we think of something called evolution. Well, it probably happened about a billion years or such and such. Well, it's this many light years away. Why are we concerned with it saying we found a new planet? It's 6 light years away. A light year is 6 trillion miles. So if you got 38 light years that we see another planet, that's 6 trillion times 38. When are we going to get that? See, so they're wasting our time with second mind thought, because they want to take us off our first mind and saying all the hairs are numbered on your head. The Most High know when it all started. And he tells us, don't get into that part of it. Deal with this part of it. I'll tell you about that part in that day. Now, either you're going to believe that or you ain't. Or you're going to listen to your second mind and say, oh, he don't want you to know how old he is. Is that it, huh? He don't want you to know.
Sound like they're going.
Sound like they're going. 38 of Job.
Start at 1?
Yeah.
When the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 1. Then the Most High answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? So
it says it's darkeneth counsel. So he's asking, it ain't from me. So it's got to be by second mind, which darkeneth counsel. Now you can be your own second mind. You can lie to yourself in the mirror. Huh? You can tell yourself you more than you ought to be in the mirror and smile. You bad, ain't you, boy? I like you. I mean, actually fool ourselves that we something when we are nothing, y'all. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3. Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and answer thou me.
And y'all see what the first thing he asked him to gird up?
His loins.
And why is that? Because they're girded with what? What they have to be girded with, according to the arm. So he coming straight out the bat. Let's deal with truth here. Put your big boy shorts on. Your big boy drawers. Take your Supermans and your Batmans off. And put your big boy drawers on. We about to get into some truth. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 4. Where was thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare, if thou hast understanding.
So he just asking him a simple question now. Job, you've been answering a few things. You got your boys over here. You can't understand what's happening to you right now. Let me just ask you a simple question before we go further. You done had all this dark counsel. What was you at when I laid these foundations of the earth? Were you part of the Godhead? Declare if you got knowledge. Lord, you don't remember this? That was me standing over right. No, he didn't answer nothing like that. Go ahead, brother.
Who hath laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest? Or who hath stretched the line upon it? Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of Yah shouted for joy? Or who shut up the sea with doors, when it brake forth, as if it had issued out of the womb?
So he just asking all these questions. How is the sea, all the rivers running to the sea, but the sea is never full? How can it crash into the shore and it knows I'll only come this far and then I'll go back out? What's controlling that? Why don't it just keep going? It will on a typhoon or something, and they warn you, I'm coming in. But y'all, the power of it coming back out is so forceful, it was like a vacuum cleaner, suck everything back into the ocean. Cars, boats, trucks, everything. It'll pull right back like sucking you into a dark hole.
What's crazy about that, Dan, is it go like 60 feet on the shore. Like when you walking into the ocean, it's all sand, and then all of a sudden it's a drop off. That water come all the way there and go all the way back.
They have a line right there. It may be from out to the parking lot. Over there where the old Aldi's used to be. And it's a rope there. You can walk straight like that and then boom!
Yep, drop straight off. All that water keeping it. That's crazy.
What keeps it, what is controlling y'all is called the elements obeying.
Straight up.
They got laws too,
They got laws too.
Most definitely.
And they are obeying the laws to the letter. Let's read some more, y'all, because I want to get caught up a little bit.
Verse 8. Or who shut up the sea with doors, when it breaks forth, as if it had issued out of the womb? When I made the cloud the garment thereof, and thick darkness a swaddling band for it.
Right.
And break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors.
So when we get into the book of Enoch, you'll see I got enough snow in this room. There's lightning and thunders in this room. And I command those doors to be open, and it send out to satisfy my wrath on earth. And he said, I'll open this door to give rain to the just and the unjust. Yo, that's a merciful God, because he said, I'm going to make sure there's nary an excuse on Judgment Day. Lord, how could I turn back to you when my crops were dried out? He will send rain to the just and the unjust, that hopefully the mind will turn around. So when he was talking about in Genesis 6, it grieved his heart that he had made man, he was talking about all of them that fell off. The angels that fell off, mankind that fell off, and all of the reproduction of that, leading up to the worst time on planet Earth, that you have to wash everything clean. He said that grieved me to my heart that it had been reduced to that. But this is a free will thing. He is not going to put us in robot mode. I'm not going to lock you in like you used to lock old four-wheel drives in. I'm going to lock it in one. Yo, we'll just be marching like this. Got to do the work of the Lord. Got to do the work of the Lord. Huh? But, go ahead, bro.
These people out here, they violating because they serving, they taking away the sovereignty. See, he's sovereign. But he made us sovereign too, with a choice to wake up, choose to serve him, or serve the other side. Leave shoved to the other side down there, so they're taking him out of the mix.
Right.
So I believe they're paying the terrible price they're going to have to pay.
Well, and the deal is, on Judgment Day, because it's without excuse, they're not forcing anything yet. They're not forcing anything. It's all just the bottom line. What did God tell you to do? Once you answer, everything else is off the table at this point. You're on the hook at this point because it don't work no other way. The first mind is always the mind of the Lord, instructing you. Everything that comes after that is mind number 2. And mind number 2 cannot supersede mind number 1 because flesh will rule at that point. It's not supernatural flesh anymore. Your flesh won't move as supernatural anymore because second mind is always working, and that means I got to doubt everything the Lord is telling me. Right. It's doubt there. I can't trust that right there. How do you not believe any miracle or anything, the virgin birth, and you already starting off at a virgin birth and you looking at this? Let me see, he made out of dirt. And then he got a rib plucked out and made a woman. Oh yeah, that's good right now. But the virgin birth, the kings ain't came no other way. Well, let's talk about the first king on earth. How did he get here? Did he have an umbilical cord? Was he separated from the earth? Was it cut? When Adam was made?
Only given dominion, boy.
How do you start off in the beginning believing a virgin birth because he was taken from virgin earth? But yet this one over here is so far away from you, you can't even believe it. Your problem ain't in the New Testament. Your problem is in Genesis. Starting at 126 about a man. Going over in chapter 2. Go ahead, read some more of this, y'all. We're going to speed through this.
When verse 11. And said, hitherto shalt thou come, but no further. And here shall thy proud ways be stayed. Hast thou commanded the morning since thy days, and caused the day spring to know its place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it? It is turned as clay to the seal, and they stand as a garment. And from the wicked their light is withholden, and the high arm shall be broken. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked in the search of the depth? Have the gates of death been opened unto thee? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death?
So he's asking a lot of questions. You know the way, you know the death angel personally. Do you rap with him? Do you know when his door is open and he told to go bring these souls back? Go get them. You got any of that knowledge? Do anybody in here got any of that knowledge? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 18. Hast thou perceived the breadth of the earth? Declare if thou knowest it all. Where is the way where light dwelleth? And as for darkness, where is the place thereof? That thou shouldest take it to the bound thereof, and that thou shouldest know the pass of the house thereof. Knowest thou it, because thou wast then born, or because the number of thy days is great? So he's asking the question, is it because you were born and you think you done figured out some things, or, you know, is it, or hast thou seen, where we at, or because the number of thy days are great? You know, how old are you when you get to this point? Are you going to ever get old enough to understand everything I just asked you in these other verses? Ain't no man lived but 969 years, the longest one. And he didn't have it all. Let's get some more. Verse 22. Hast thou entered into the treasures of the snow? Or hast thou seen the treasures of the hail?
See, so once you start hearing these terms, treasure, these things are not unlocked but into the book of Enoch. When he show you them different doors. And he say, in this storehouse, there's enough snow here to cover all of the Midwest. And he may unleash that tomorrow on them. It's by order, y'all. Those inches that come are ordained, ordered amount of snow. And if you can figure out how he weighs the scale and balance, he said fire is weighed in a measure. Whoever weighed fire? Just somebody just, I don't know, put a little lighter fluid on your hand and grab fire from both hands and let it burn a little bit and tell me. I think about, I don't know, maybe 2 pounds. No, because you're going to be done like that. BTU. Right. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 23. Which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war.
So you see how it's reserved? He's got snow and hail stored up for a certain day. It ain't gonna move. It's waiting on the command to handle its business. Y'all, these are elements. The problem is the only individual or the only thing that's worshiping him and honoring him can't get it right is man and womankind.
Yeah, man.
Like you hear the Muslims say, completely devoted to God's command. That's what a Muslim is. He's subservient to what that includes everybody but man. Right. If you calling yourself that after that, then you started out the gate wrong. You started with the one who can't get it right. The sun do what it's done. Anybody has seen the sun stop yet? Hey man, the sun ain't up, man, y'all. Anything on the news? And the sun like that. I just didn't feel like it this morning.
I called off.
I called off.
And people what it said too, Dan, it says, which I have reserved against the time of trouble.
Say that again, bro.
Which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war.
Yeah.
So imagine he punished us with some hell balls the size of cars. You know what I'm saying? For our wickedness.
Hell with fire on it though.
Man.
How is ice and fire in the same mixture?
Together.
Go ahead, bro. And the other one don't put the other out. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 24. By the way is the light parted.
By what way?
By what way is the light parted, which scattereth the east wind upon the earth? Who has divided a water course for the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning of thunder, to cause it to rain on the earth, where no man is, on the wilderness, wherein there is no man.
So you see, even uninhabited places, the Most High say, I cause rain to go there. Because you not there don't mean these obedient servants of grass and trees don't get water. That's right. Where no man at. Why shouldn't they get water? Why shouldn't they live? Because you ain't made it there. Go ahead, brother.
To satisfy the desolate and waste ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth. Hath the rain a father, or who hath begotten the drops of dew? Out of whose womb came the ice, and the hoary frost of heaven? Who hath gendered it? The waters are hid as with a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. So
y'all, the face of the deep is frozen, so they ain't never been to the deepest part of the ocean. The deepest they done been is 8 miles over in Madrid. And at that point, you got to have a robot, what do they call them, the submarines? And it can only go so far before the pressure of it start to crush it up like a soda can balled up, like you roll over with your car. But guess what? There's creatures down there that glow in the dark, swimming like it ain't no pressure at all. See, when it talks about the things underneath, they want to get down that low and take some pictures of those things. They ain't gonna be able to take no pictures. Finish that out, bro. We're gonna move on, get right to the heart of man, because we got a couple of scripts we want to get over before we get out of here.
You been seeing what's been washing up on the seas lately, on the shores lately?
Man, strange. Y'all been seeing what's been washing up.
Man.
Beasts are washing up on shore. They like, we ain't never seen this on planet Earth before yet.
Looking like full dragons. Like, looking just like the dragons in the movies, man. I ain't getting no pictures out of their imagination.
Go ahead, bro. Read some more.
Verse 31. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion?
Loose the bands of who?
Orion.
What is Orion?
Orion's belt.
Who can loose the bands of those? Who can take those planets out of their course? Yo, we're talking about the planetary system up there. Who can loose the band? So we're getting into all of knowledge of the Most High, not just on planet Earth, but what's in outer space. Look, Earth is in outer space. If you was on one of them other planets, Earth would be sitting in outer space like how we looking at the moon and the sun. Go ahead, brother.
Canst thou bring forth Mazazaroth in his season?
What is it, Mazaroth?
Mazazaroth.
What is that? That's what they call today horoscopes, don't they?
Yeah.
So y'all, or somebody look it up real quick, Mazaroth.
It got to do with the stars.
Stars, it says. So a lot of this, y'all, is what verse you in, bro?
32.
32. Job
39, 30, 38.
38, 32.
Yeah.
So what it's asking is everything, now he's getting into, he's on Earth, now he's getting into outer space. Can you answer any of these questions? Can any of NASA explain this? Y'all, and y'all just look at the trickery of how the second mind works. It'll tell you, new planet discovered, may be heaven. or they may say, heaven discovered. They'll start it off like this, you'll be like, wait a minute. What you mean heaven discovered? And then they're having a planet 6 trillion light miles away. Maybe what people are calling heaven. See, the wording changes when you get into that. See, the beginning say heaven found. They're not telling you maybe that's just to get you to click on to it so you look. And then they say maybe found or maybe. So what they're telling you is not accurate. We can't tell. We're in the Job 38 on this. But guess what? We'll keep reading and start repeating it. We'll actually repeat what we can't prove. Evolutionists can't prove a Big Bang. But you'll pick it up and you'll start repeating what you can't prove. Because you know what they call it? Theory. And a theory means it can't be proven by fact. So while we talking about second mind doctrine and trying to prove it to somebody else, and you sitting here like you a scholar and they just ask one question, prove it.
Yeah. like what brother was saying, evolution. Evolution is a
right.
Evolution or evolution is a theory. It's not a fact. It's not even scientific fact based off their own definition. To be a scientific fact, it has to be observable and testable. You feel me? So if you saying evolution is a fact, then you've observed one species mutate to another, and you have to test it. You feel me? So even based off their own definition,
verse 19.
It's not even a fact, it's a theory. But many hold it as if it's a fact. You feel me? That's just based off their own definition. It has to be something that's observable. You got to be able to observe it happen, and it has to be either measured, recorded, or testable, basically. You see what I'm saying? Like scientific fact, man and woman lie down and, you know, children come. That's a fact. You feel me? You can observe that, you can test it.
Yeah.
It can be measured in time, 9 months, you know. But if you can't measure it or test it even based off their own definition, it's just a theory. But many hold on to evolution as if it's a fact, you know what I'm saying? Many out of the atheist community as well. They'll talk stuff like the fossil record.
Yeah. You
know, the fossil record goes back 6 trillion years. You're like, what are you reading that go back 6 trillion years? And it's in English? English go back 6 trillion? So certain questions get asked and then the whole thing comes tumbling down.
Right.
It's just a theory. Majority of it. And then believe it or not, the majority of modern day science is starting to vouch for the Bible now. In their wording they are. You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like the laws of the universe created the universe.
What did you say, laws?
Yeah, laws.
See, we're ready to accept laws of everything, laws of nature, laws of the universe, laws of physics. But when it comes down to the law of Most High, oh, that's nailed to the cross. Baby. You ain't gonna hear me up with that. You ain't gonna steal my joy. Your pocket's been ripped off a long time ago if you hollering the laws are done away with. Ain't no joy.
Steal your joy.
You got holes in your pocket.
O'Shea.
Just real quick for the family, just kind of touching on what they they're talking about just how evolution and all that, they just spinning tops and making us think about stuff that we don't really understand. It's a documentary floating around. It's on Netflix predominantly right now, and he even put it together, but it's a whole bunch of different scientists and doctors from all walks of life, and it's called Is Genesis History, and they all point to how none of that evolution stuff works, how it's all just malarkey that they just came up with because they looking for a reason to doubt God. And it's just,
absolutely.
It's excellent. It's called Is Genesis History. Yeah. It's about an hour long, man. I mean, everything from marine biologists down to doctors with the scalpels. They all just pointing to Genesis and how nothing else fits the creation of the world.
They all vouching. They all vouching for the Bible.
Any other way.
Right.
Another one called Evolution in God. That's another one. You know, Gentile believer. You know, went around to all the top professors, USC, you know, putting mics right in front of their mouth. You know what I'm saying? And they all stuttering. Like they can't even prove, these professors got all these letters behind their names and all that. They can't even prove the very doctrine. They teach evolution. And when you believe in God, of course not, I don't believe in God. So what do you believe in? Oh, you know, is evolution real? Yes, evolution is real. They be like, oh, okay, well, according to your own definition, this and that. You still hold on to that? And they just stuttering. Well, see, yeah, well, not quite. And they done went from professor to student that quick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just using simple questions to debunk everything they talking about. You don't even need big words. It's just simple questions to make them think about what it is they talking about. Yeah, and it confounds all of them. Yeah. Evolution in God. Evolution and God. Another thing they talking about when they was talking about how the laws of the universe predate the universe. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible vouches for that. The Most High in the beginning saying, let there be this, let there be that. He's commanding everything into existence. You see what I'm saying? So they vouching for the scripture as time is getting shorter and shorter. You know what I'm saying? Without actually coming out and saying that the smartest man they claim on the planet, he disabled. Stephen Hawking in that wheelchair. Now he's admitting that there's some type of grand designer behind all this. That it couldn't have been a big bang. There's some type of intelligent design behind the
right to the end of one.
Let's come on out and say it. Yeah, Lord, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That'll be easier for you to say.
See what chapter you in.
So,
40. You gotta go down to 80. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Where we at?
We're in verse 32 of Job 38.
Right. I looked at Mazarov up too. Okay. It says the 12 signs of the zodiac.
The 12 what?
Signs of the zodiac.
So, y'all, we were named after tribes. Tribe of Judah, tribe of Benjamin. So, how did the second mind come in and we start naming ourselves after the Mazarov? Oh, I'm a Pisces. I'm Aquarius. Even a song came out for our generation. Float on. Look, your rap game, you was rapping Mazareth. That was your cool talk to pull a gas. I'm Cancer, baby. You what, Sagittarius? I don't know about them Sagittarius. Go see, get the Sagittarius and the Cancer dwell together, baby. Can we be one flesh?
Yeah.
Your game is off the Mazareth.
Hey, look, Dad.
Go ahead.
Sometimes it was that, what's that #1 zodiac sign?
Yeah, sure, boy. Yeah. Float on was the jam, y'all. And that was some Luke he talking. So at that point, not only that, but today you still hear people judge certain groups of people by the month that they were born. Man, so what's she do? Bet she a Leo, ain't she? Oh boy. You should have went with a Libra. See, every experience I done had with a Libra. Now look, I may not be with them, but they wasn't evil as that one, as them Leos was. So now your whole thought process is chasing the stars. When we a tribe of people. No, she's a Judite. If she here in America, her parents got off them slave ships here. If she's over there, she may be this or she may be that. But Judah is still to the four corners and the tribes are blended in. But naming after stars, y'all, and then every day when it pops up on your phone, daily horoscope. And it becomes a horror to you, just like you're saying. It's a horoscope. Chase it and see the horror that come in your life. Soothsayers will use it against you. Oh, I see here you're a Libra, born in the second phase of Orion. Oh, baby, it looks bad for you. I'm seeing here too a dollar sign. Did you get paid yesterday? Yeah, I did. The sign is you should have $20 left and I should get the rest for the answer. You get it yet, bro?
I'm right here.
This is something we wanted to pull up. I just wanted to, because every time we watch movies now, y'all, we watch movies as fact-finding mission. You can watch everything, but you're watching for first mind and second mind. You're trying to see, because the second mind is an imitator. He's going to imitate everything. We were talking about the movie, so y'all, even in the movies, Satan is so crafty. He's trying to see, are we watching on fact-finding dimensions, or are we just locked into TV? Just watching TV, ain't gathering no information or checking for fact-finding. Don't mean you can't watch TV or you should watch TV, but know why you watch it. See what you're seeing, because Most High say my word ain't gonna come back void. And it's an imitator out there that's imitating. Where did Satan get this idea from? Where was it first recorded? The holy man of Most High. Read that for me, man. And y'all, if y'all ever see the movie called The Mist, that thing that was killing them that got inside the grocery store, let's take a listen at this and see if it sounds the same. Go ahead, Matt.
You want me to start at 19?
Yeah, 19.
Okay.
And these are when the plagues were hitting Egypt. See, Jasher is going into detail. See, we read about the blood and 3 days of darkness. There was a lot of things going on with them plagues hitting y'all way deeper than we can understand. A lot of things going on, because people hear about the plagues and they try to run and present it like these doomsday bunkers and everything. They're trying to build things, so in like manner they were trying to do things to ward off the plagues of the Most High coming. Go ahead, read that, man.
I'm looking at the count, start at 14.
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right, this is the book of Jasher, chapter 80, and start at verse 14. And the Most High sent fiery serpents, scorpions, mice, weasels, toads, together with other creeping in dust, flies, hornets, fleas, bugs, and gnats, each swarm according to its kind, and all reptiles and winged animals, according to their kind, came to Egypt and grieved the Egyptians exceedingly. And the fleas and flies came into the eyes and ears of the Egyptians. And the hornet came upon them and drove them away, and they removed from it into their inner rooms, and it pursued them.
So y'all think about just a flea or a gnat, how that drives you crazy. Be sitting on the toilet or something, and one coming in, you be... Look here, we can't even stand Keith Sweat because he sounds like a gnat in your ear. Yeah, baby, yeah. Come on, baby, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
And when the Egyptians hid themselves on account of the swarm of animals, they locked their doors after them. And the Most High ordered the Sul-Lanut, which was in the sea, to come up and go into Egypt.
Now, y'all think about this movie, The Mist. The plague is going on. The lady's telling them these are from God. These are plagues from the Most High. And it's in the mist. You can't see nothing. Go ahead, man.
The Sul-Lanut, which was in the sea, to come up and go into Egypt. And she had long arms, 10 cubits in length of the cubit of a man. And she went upon the roofs and uncovered the raftering and flooring and cut them, and stretched forth her arm into the house and removed the lock of the boat and opened the houses of Egypt. Afterward came the swarm of animals to the houses of Egypt, and the swarm of animals destroyed the Egyptians, and it grieved them exceedingly.
So you see this thing, basically, almost like an octopus, so to speak. For those who were boarding doors, it lifted up the rafters. When you see that movie, The Mist, you'll see how it gets inside. They start hearing it coming from up top, tearing the roof off. And then it had arms in there, went and pulled that one baggage boy out.
He cut off his tip, one of the
They tried to cut off one of the arms of it, but y'all, they didn't just think this sub producer was thinking, and then I'm gonna have an octopus come in there. Yeah, Bill. Drag the bag boy out. Yeah, man, your mind is really clicking today. They got all of it out of here. Because it's already recorded what happened to this nation. Huh? What's going on, bro?
Yeah, but if you get into like a lot of these mystical guys, everybody got destruction of a big old octopus that walked on land inside of their religion. A big old octopus, a big old eagle, especially the Indians.
The Kraken.
Yeah, the Kraken. You know what I'm saying?
You finished that, Matt?
Yeah.
That finished? So y'all, we see that how they unlocked the doors on everybody who was trying to block it in. So just like you think you're getting doomsday preppers getting ready, the door gonna get unlocked. While you sitting in there with 3 years of water and all this, the door gonna open. And the arm gonna come down there and pull you out. Because the scripts already said they're gonna try to hide in rocks and caves, falling to hide us from the face of him that's coming with the wrath. Ain't nowhere to hide when the wrath of the Lord is coming. Let's get back into this. Job, y'all want to speed it up a bit because we're running out of time. What verse we in there, Job?
We are 32.
32? Yeah, let's finish that on out, y'all. Just gonna hit a couple on Satan, and then we're gonna get into how our minds should stay focused on the first mind no matter what. When you hear it, it's like Acts 10th chapter. We're gonna get into that where Peter heard the mind of the Lord. Peter rise, kill and eat. He said, is that my second mind talking to me? It got to be. I ain't never ate nothing unclean. This second mind. Who would tell me to eat that? I can't be the Lord. Let's read. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 32. Canst thou bring forth Mazaroth in his season?
Right.
Or canst thou guide Arcturus with his son? Knowest thou the ordinances of heaven? Canst thou set the dominion thereof in the earth? Canst thou lift up thy voice to the clouds? The abundance of waters may cover thee. Canst thou send lightnings, that they may go and say unto thee, here we are? Who hath put wisdom in the inward parts? Or who hath given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds in wisdom? Or who can stay the bottles of heaven? When the dust groweth into hardness, and the clods cleave fast together, wilt thou hunt the prey for the lion, or fill the appetite of the young lions? When they couch in their dens and abide in the covert to lie in wait, who provided for the raven his food? When his young ones cry unto Yah, they wander for lack of meat.
Look, who can cry for the raven? For his food, who provided for the ravens? Y'all, we drive to work and you'll see them birds and you know you got your lunch in the car or you gonna buy it lunch. And you think for a second, how them birds gonna eat? It's cold out here and they done down, how they gonna eat? And your mind immediately get right back to driving. And you don't think about them birds no more eating, but they eat. And they out there with no coat on and you in the car with the heat up on 10. And they out there on the telephone pole line. And you know it's frozen out here. Who feeding them? If you got the answers, let somebody know, you know, in this type of weather. Y'all, but we don't even focus on the simple things like that. We look up at them and see them birds and say, I wonder if they cold. Or how do feathers keep 30 degrees off you like that? Them feathers ain't thick as this. Hell, this North Star jacket is full of bird feathers. And I'm still cold. But there's 1 Corinthians 15:51, there's different kinds of flesh. There's flesh of birds, there's flesh of men, there's flesh of angels. The flesh of birds are designed to take this cold. The flesh of beasts are designed to take this cold, because that's why you wear a leather jacket in the winter.
Yeah.
Cows can stand that cold. So you grab what's off of them and you put it on you to be able to deal with that element, because our covenant got taken off of us in the garden because we listened to the second mind. Now we have to live like what's beneath us, and that's beasts. So we warm up with their clothing because now we on this level. Because we won't listen to our first mind. Y'all, our first mind was paradise. A set temperature every day. Right here. The most comfortable temperature you can say, Leclerc Gas and Union Electric be out of business. That temperature right there. But we didn't want it, y'all. We wanted to hear what he had over here. See, he don't want you to be flossed out, you know. See how the cow flossed out with that fur on him? He didn't want no fur on you. Your God is a hater. And you sure is. I want to rock a fur coat. But you still going to be colder than that animal that's rocking it. They can walk through water with it. I don't care what kind of leather you go through. You go through 32 below zero or 32 degree water. I don't care what you got on. They're going to have to come get you. We finished that up, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Let's get right to the heart of the matter on Genesis 3:6. Genesis 3 and 6, we're going to hit Ezekiel 28:12. And y'all, and then we're going to move right into how to get our mind focused on how to serve the Lord and keep what we call a one-track mind. Right. Down that road of life by keeping the commandments and listening to that mind. And when you know it's that second mind, tell them, get on out of here. No, you didn't use me up for today. All you using today, I'm through with you for today. No more of you for today. Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And y'all, our adversary, for anybody to say the Bible will tamper with, or somebody put that in there, the devil ain't never played like that. It's not written from Genesis to Revelation he ever tampered with anything. He goes directly to the Lord. Let me get him. It looked like his pride is like mine was when I was up on the sides of the north. You remember, Lord, how proud I was when you threw me down here? His pride seems to be the same way. I see the same exact thing happening to me. Let me get at it. And the Lord asked, who you talking about? My servant? You ready to get at him? Oh, you don't know about him. Give me the shot. Y'all, that's what we are involved with. That part of it comes with the territory as well when we say we're here to serve the Lord. We have an adversary that's going to try us on our faith. You talking a good game? You best be walking a good game. Or you going to be tried on your face by this adversary who know what you desire. You think Eve, he just picked out that one desire? Or did he know what was going on in the process, standing right there watching and seeing, oh, I can get him this way. She like flash and dash. Y'all, ain't no coincidence the gifts that we give are flash and dash to a woman. Dazzles the eyes, make it bright. Scripture says a man will go out on a journey, fight a war, swim back 10 miles like he's a triathlete, and bring that gift back home for you. You done killed a whole city, swam 3 miles in the treacherous sea, and this is what you peel out for you? Yes. Go ahead, bro. Where we at?
Genesis chapter 3, verse 6.
See, I don't know about y'all, but see, in my era, when you got a car, it wasn't for your partners to see your car. Your whip was getting ready for somebody to be on the passenger side. And it best be clean. I'm talking about when we even armor all the seats because most of them was vinyl. I'm talking about when a woman got in your car, she slipped down. Like, oh, wait a minute, what's this? All them seats is armor all, baby. Just for you. Hey. Together. Overall on them tires. No, it wasn't for Earl and Rufus to be like, damn, dog, you got it. No, somebody needs to be on the passenger side. All this labor and sweat. Oh no, not for no hairy ankles to be over there all day. At least when the sun's setting, I got to drop you off. It's time for me to head this way. Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it...
Tell you what, started 1. 1 through 6, I'm sorry, brother.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, as Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
See, so his first question is always, what did God tell you to do? Look, when we hear them terms, the devil made me do it, that's a lie. The devil don't make you do nothing. The devil asks you, what did God instruct you to do? And then he asks the next question, which is a lie. And he says, oh, they like believing lies. That soothes them better. And then we fall in Isaiah 38, prophesy smooth things to us. Tell us lies, man. It's just, some about lies just make my spirit a little bit at ease. I know I'm thinking I ain't the only one. And go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
You see what she said? She's repeat back. Y'all, when y'all heard me say this is a sin, receive, and send back process, he sent it out to her. What did you hear when you first hear this created? Oh, I heard I'm supposed to keep the commandments of God. Sent back. He sent back. So the sin process is because he's waiting to see before he attack. He's waiting to hear. Oh, you got the instructions already. It's now my time to attack. Go ahead.
But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
So she has full instructions. Instructions of life and death. Yo, look, this is already in you. Life and death, she understands, and she's repeating it back. I'll die if I go any way other than this. What made her lose her faith that quick?
Second mind.
Go ahead. What did it say?
And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
What that mean? That God's of what at this point? This pretty much what he said. This is why he called him the father of it, of lies. You started this in the garden, you're going to lie. Lying on the Lord in the beginning. This is why when we get into Acts 5, when Ananias and Sapphira, his wife, it said, you ain't lied to men, you've lied to God. And immediately they fell down dead straightway. And his wife came in, same exact thing, because the Holy Spirit is in her. And he had just breathed into Adam the breath of life, breathed the Holy Spirit in, and say like, oh, time for me to go to work. Unpardonable sins on the table. And that's what he's coming for, the unpardonable sins. Anything else you can repent for, but if he gets you so tangled up that you say, I throw my hands up, Lord, I'm through. We have to understand the mind of the Lord when he say, I ain't gonna put on you more than you can bear. You can't bear out, I just want to die then. You don't know what's going on. Your mind can't be to the fact that you start quoting second mind in all your language. If I die tonight. Tupac, Kato, get it popping up there for me. No, Kato ain't get nothing popping. Kato waiting on judgment.
It was that what?
Yeah.
Reserved for the judgment.
Reserved for the judgment. So those are the things that you start repeating and singing. Is the ghetto is heaven got a ghetto? So you start thinking Coke Brilliant on the streets of gold.
Life goes on.
Is it peddling on the streets of gold? You know, is it thoughts on the corners of the kingdom?
A couple bottles of gin in case I don't
get in.
Oh, man.
We're going to be drinking that.
So y'all, we start making the kingdom exactly what's here. A strange thing. So the next kingdom coming in, we're only trying to mirror what we're doing, what you're practicing here. That's why we have to start practicing the first mind now, so it gets us in tune with what's going to be in that kingdom. Ain't none of this getting in there because we constantly see it. No whoremonger, no adulterer, no effeminate, no drunkenness. So Cato, is it popping up there like it's popping down here? Bottles popping? Pouring it all over gals and dollar bills flying.
Hey, that was the image though.
Right.
Other man.
Let's read some more, y'all.
Verse 5. For Yahweh does know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good from evil.
Partly true and mostly a lie. Because you will become like a God, because you're going to reproduce life. Spiritually first, you'll produce devil children. Because once you take on this evil doctrine from the second mind and you pass it down to your children, we just read in Exodus, visiting them to the third and fourth generations. So you're taking doctrine that's going to destroy for the next 3 or 4 generations before it's possibly straightened out. Now we got to get into some Ezekiel 18. If a man's father has been wicked all his life, but the son is not wicked, should not the son be granted, you know, mercy and righteousness? Yes, he should be granted that. But then it gets into a wicked man. If he's been wicked his whole life, but if he turned at the last minute, his wickedness ain't going to be counted. He got in where he fit in, but we can't play Russian roulette like that, y'all. That's the kicker. You don't know when the death angel comes. Let's read some more. We finished with that. Then we go down to verse 6.
Verse 6.
Okay.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
So we see what happened is the order got broke. He came in and broke the chain of command, and then it started feeding doctrine with broke chain of command. It can't never come back until it start over back again, and we got to walk that process out. Yo, Job was sick for over 20 years. This wasn't just no season. Them balls that was on, when you read about the Reuben in the text, he said, I was sore in my loins 7 years. I mean, you got a cool gait and strut. Your swag is tight. Now you walking like Fred Sanford. Because of evil. And you know it, but he understands it. And he said, this is what I did to straighten that out. And I'm trying to warn y'all, gird your loins with truth, because he's coming for that area first. If I can get that area, I got y'all. I ain't even worried about it at that point. You can talk all the money you can get. What's the only thing Donald Trump worried about in all these investigations? The Russian whores. Do they have film of that? That's what he's concerned about. Everything else is it's the common thing. Send them this and we're going to get them, we're going to break them down. That's what he's more concerned about. Is there any investigation about me and them Scandinavian whores? When I was running the beauty contest over there, if they got film in there, I'm through. If they think I talked about grabbing between a woman's legs, they gonna actually see it on film. That's what he asked them, man. He ain't even worried about all the stuff that could get everybody like, what about them whores? Any information on that? Billions of dollars. He ain't worried about the rest of it. He's worried about a tarnished image that's headed downhill real fast. Let's read a little bit more of this, y'all. We're going to speed up. I want to hurry up and get to these verses while we got about 40 minutes.
Verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open. And they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
So immediately they tried to cover up the area that should have been covered with truth. You're trying to now hide it from a second mind perspective. So now my whole agenda is now, why do I have on these underwear? I'm explaining this to my father why I have on these underwear now. The holy and righteous one's been taken away, and I got on artificials now. So I'm gonna hide myself amongst everything else, but y'all know the story. But it's just saying how the second mind has caused us to be in the same problem today. And if the second mind is doing it to you today, you got to change back to the first mind and listen to it. If you don't get the answer, don't go to the second mind. Pray for the understanding of the first mind. Job's friends was trying to tell him, but we see at the end of the 42nd chapter of Job, he told them, all your friends better go get some bullocks and sacrifice it because they instructed you dead wrong. I'm going to put all of them to death. Right. So all that instruction that they was giving him wasn't the true mind of the Lord, because it was the mind, the second mind, it was their mind. Well, come on, Job, you had to do something now. All this wrath ain't came on you about nothing, man. What you doing? Yeah. Now, I know you got this paper, and people with paper having to get into things. Job, see, because the mind of the Lord does what he wants to do. If he decides to test you that way, he will test you, but he will never tempt you with evil. Never, ever, ever. Your trial that you're going through is not evil, unless it's evil that you've done, and now the devil is trying you on that. But you will know the difference clear as a bell, because Job's righteousness told him, naked I came, naked I go. So he wasn't harboring anything or trying to hang on to anything. He like, if this the end of the line, if this as long as this run, then it is what it is. But I heard his resurrection come. I'll partake in that and get it back. Go ahead.
Basically, James, you saying it's the difference between what you go through and what you put yourself through.
Absolutely. It's night and day, and you have to know the difference in the judgment, or you gonna deal with the mind of the Lord falsely. Because you're going to say, woe is me, why is this happening to me? You have to examine every avenue. And there's somebody going through that same exact thing, and you look and see, okay, this is a test from the Lord. I know I ain't wrong nobody. But if you start thinking it could be, yeah, I did steal Earl's lunch at work the other day. Maybe it's, no, I don't think he'd trip about me taking his lunch. No, that ain't it. And you start thinking about what wickedness I could have done to cause this. But when you know I've been walking a straight line, you know, oh, this a hit on me. Satan is after me. It's something I'm doing. He's on my trail. Let me get in my closet and ask the Most High what I need to do. What side is showing a leak? Even Donald Trump using our language now. He's a leaker.
Yeah. James Comey.
Yeah.
Hey, James, can we get the Matthew 4?
Yes, sir.
The temptation of the Messiah.
Absolutely. On the list.
First and second. Oh, you got it.
Go ahead. No, we'll hit them first, and we'll just jump right back to the other.
It's like going into the first and second mind you was talking about.
And y'all get into, write this down, y'all. We ain't going to go into them. The other mind of Satan, you can see what caused him to fail. Ezekiel 28:12 on down. It'll tell you exactly how he got in the garden, what caused him to fall, and why he was thrown down. All of that will let you know. And there's no head above the serpent, meaning there was no spirit there that confounded Satan or made him do what he did. It was his inner self that he went and he exalted himself. There's nothing written anywhere to say, and the spirit of Belial jumped on Satan. He's the father of it. It all links back to him, because the false prophet and the beast thrown in the lake of fire. And then who the last one thrown in there? It don't say, and the spirit that deceived Satan was cast in there also, does it? So y'all, we know who we dealing with. Let's read. Where we at?
Matthew 4.
Matthew 4, yeah.
Book of Matthew chapter 4. Just going back to what the elder been talking about all day, first and second mind. First mind, as we read Genesis 3, was the command of the Most High. So the first mind is always the Most High. Your second mind, whenever you listen to that and get caught slipping, you always say, I should have listened to my first mind. You feel me? Even down with Adam and Eve, the first mind, the first instruction was the Most High. You commanded to do this. That second mind was Slick Willie coming up whispering. And they yielded to their second mind.
That's right.
You know, so let's check this real quick, Matthew the 4th chapter.
What verse you in, bro? Right at
11.
1?
Yeah,
1 through 11, absolutely.
The temptation of Yahweh shot Messiah.
And y'all, and this will break out for you Hosea 2, the difference in tempting with evil versus a trial of the Lord. Because that's what temptations mean, is to try it. You either gonna get a trial from the Lord to try you as gold in the fire, or you will be tempted with evil, or your trial will be how deep is your evil running. One or the other. That's what temptation is. But the Most High clearly said, I'll never tempt you with evil. I'll never put you in a position to harm yourself or my name first. For my name to be disrespected. I'm not going to never put you in that situation. Every situation we in, the name of the Lord got exalted. From every prophet we read about, his name was exalted. Now us, his name has been shamed. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
Matthew 4th chapter, Matthew chapter 4, verse 1.
What it say?
Then was the Messiah led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
To be what?
Tempted of the devil.
So he was led up by the Ruach. The Holy Spirit was on him to be tried by the devil.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights.
How long he fasted?
14 days and 40 nights.
This 960 hours he prepared himself to deal with the chief tempter. Kind of third of the angels, y'all. This is the chief tempter. 960 hours. And y'all, we looking at here the day of Day of Atonement. Just 24 hours, we like this.
Nervous.
Damn.
Yeah.
You ordered that pizza. Did you tell him at 8 o'clock it'll be dark right at 8? 24 hours. This 960 hours. Go ahead, bro.
He was afterward a hungry. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written.
It is what?
It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High.
And look, and see how Satan played you? He came at the first angle he thought that could get to Messiah. 960 hours ain't ate. You hungry. The first thing he tempted to come is, you know, them stones can be made bread. I know you're hungry. I hear your belly growling over here. And you see how the Messiah answered right back.
Yeah.
Man, I've been living off of spiritual food for 960 hours.
Yeah.
What are you talking? Go ahead, bro.
And notice he answered with the first mind.
Yes, sir.
Which was the command of the Most High. When you tempted, that's what you answered with. You answered with the scripture. To combat that second mind that just came in, that doubt. You hungry, turn them stones into bread. I know you're hungry.
Right.
But he answers with the command of the Most High. That's how you battle the enemy. You can't slap him or cuss him out. You can't pull out your little sword or your gun. You gotta pull out your spiritual sword. Which is these scripts right here.
That's right.
And that's how you check him and get him gone. Alright, verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down. For it is written.
For it is what?
It is written.
Now what is he doing? Is he quoting scripture?
Twisting scripture.
Twisting, quoting, he said, for it's written. Now look, you'll have somebody in church tomorrow tell you, you quoting them scripture chapter and verses. I hear you know the Bible. It's clear you've been studying, but the devil know the Bible too. What does that mean? The problem is you don't know it.
Right.
This the problem here. What you just said is an oxymoron, or we can't get no trophy for that. That's evident. The problem is we're trying to get you to know it so you can battle him. Go ahead, brother.
For it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. The Messiah, Yahushua, said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy God.
See, he didn't break ranks. He told him again what the scripture said. But notice how the devil tried to play it lightly, like he was concerned about him. He'll lift you up so you won't dash your foot against the stone. Don't worry about jumping off the cliff. It ain't gonna hurt that bad. If you hit your toe, before you hit your toe, the angel's gonna bear you up. The Lord say, I ain't supposed to, Messiah say, I ain't supposed to tempt the Lord. That's called blind faith. Like you standing watching rush hour traffic and you say, I believe the Lord when he say nothing can hurt me. I'm going to the other side. You can try it if you want to.
He's going down.
Hey, commit suicide.
That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 8. Again, the devil, the deceiver, taketh them up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth them all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them.
Was America included in that?
And all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them. And saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
If thou wilt do what?
Fall down and worship me. Then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Hashatan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Most High, thy God, and him only shall thou serve.
So let's get it straight in our mind. Satan ain't gonna serve you.
Right.
You ain't gonna never have Satan working for you. He the boss on the side of wickedness.
Right.
You ain't gonna never outslick the devil.
Right. Straight up.
He's a double crosser. All y'all know the joke of the snake in the snow, and the man took him home and put him in front of the fire, gave him milk, and then went to pet him. The snake bit him. He's like, what'd you do that for? He said, you know that was a snake, didn't you?
Straight up.
Yeah.
You think anything changed? You think because the preachers do trunk or treat, they put candy in the trunk of their car on Halloween. You can't fix a folly day or an evil day because you decide to take the candy out of the hands of the pedophile and put it in the trunk of the car. The package is still wrapped with Halloween symbols on it. You still teaching the doctrine. You're just saying we're going to move away the element of danger, so to speak. But the danger is in the doctrine.
The spirit of rebellion.
Because you're going to teach it to the next group.
Yeah.
And that's what he loves. Because the next group, he's looking for a diehard candidate. Because the people are looking, well, if the preacher's doing this, it can't be that bad then. The preacher doing it. Now we got to slide downhill of a whole nother generation on this madness. Go ahead, man.
Verse 11. Then the devil leaveth him.
What the devil do?
Leaveth him. And behold, angels came and ministered unto him.
Look, angels are standing back like this, like big brothers, waiting and testing that at any time he could have called and took care of, but they didn't come minister to him until he got through his trial with the devil. They came and ministered to him, brought him food, strengthened him back up. They're like, whoo, he was on you there, Messiah. He's like, yeah, I know. He was on Peter the same way. The Messiah had to pray for Peter. Satan have sought to sift you like wheat, but I have prayed for you. So y'all, it still ain't uncommon to man that Satan will keep coming at least 3 in a row. Yeah, where y'all think y'all get the term from? It say it come in 3s. They're taking that second mind doctrine and trying to apply it to this. He attacks in 3s. He came to Peter how many times before Peter denied? 3 times. So y'all, this is how he keeps coming. The people came to him 3 times and he denied them. You was with him, wasn't you? Nope, don't know him. You sound like you've been with him. Your voice sound like a guy like, look, you ugly. What? I don't know him. So y'all, when he attacks the 3rd time, you just tell him, get going. And if y'all ever had that witch riding you, or when Satan sits on your chest in your sleep, you have to holler out the Messiah's name 3 times before he release. Holler 1 and it don't get it done, you gonna panic. Jesus! And he keep pressing. He don't know you. He don't know you. Mama! That's what he wants you to holler. Mama. Mama can't get in there. Mama don't know what's going on. But you, and he'll let loose, and you sit up. Now you know what you got to do to make him go the other way. But you can't holler for your mom. It ain't gonna do you no good. Hollering for your mom in the first 48 don't get it done, do it? And I call my mama, nope. Nope. You can call an attorney, but not your mama. Where we at?
That was it for that.
Okay, let's get right into it. Romans 11:34. Y'all, we're gonna hit a couple of these, y'all. We got about a half hour. And we're gonna roll through the mind of the Lord after you continually lock in on the first mind. This should be the change of it. And we're just gonna show the man, the role model who we have to show us first mind lock in, Abraham. How he was locked in and what he was rewarded. Y'all, and we're gonna see the difference in second mind trying to come back around. You want to quit doing that, because what do they call doing the same thing ending up with the same results that hurt you? What is it called? Insanity, or that's why they say you are insane. You're out of your mind. You keep doing the same thing that got your foot cut off, that just got your hand cut off, and you're going to go do it again looking for what results? But eventually for your head to get cut off. Let's get it. Romans 11:34.
The book of Romans chapter 11.
Everybody there? Y'all, we're going to hit a couple of these quick one-hitters. We're going right next to 1 Corinthians chapter 2. After that. Y'all, we're going to get through these, and what we're getting through now is mind correction and focusing in on the first mind, being tunnel visioned in.
Right.
Go ahead, man.
We good? Romans 11:34. For who have known the mind of the Most High?
That's a question. Who? Who can we talk about that know the mind of the Lord? It ain't like nobody can't know it. His mind is in his commandments. Right. He telling you this how I think about the crimes that y'all commit against me. Y'all don't commit no crimes, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Go ahead, man.
For who have known the mind of the Most High, or who have been his counselor?
Who is the Lord sitting on Dr. Phil's couch?
No.
You know Dr. Phil, I didn't want to have to do what I did at the flood, and you know, but they just make me so angry. If y'all see the show Lucifer, do y'all know they're giving him a conscious side now? But you need to watch that, because that's what they finna bring to us now. They're finna turn Lucifer into the one, into the good guy. And he bashes his father the whole episode. Yeah, like father threw me out. Yeah, right. And now he's showing compassion. Even got a demon playing with the little girl. Maze, Mazakim,
something like that.
Short for Mazakim, a super demon. That the little child is playing with him. So they getting our children ready that demons ain't that bad. You can even have them as a best friend, not as the guardian angel. What the Messiah said, the angel always watches over them. Y'all, in Job, when Jacob wrestled with the angel, the reason that's really happening in the bone, He was so concerned about Esau and his band of men catching him coming through with his wives and children and slaughter them. But do you know it was angels standing just like this waiting to minister? I wish Esau would trip. Waiting, and when you get into the next chapter 33, this 32nd chapter of Genesis, when you're in 33, you can see that Jacob saw him. He like, y'all had my back all the time. We got an Air Force and angels, y'all, ready to battle. If you say get them, they'll get them. But they're waiting to see what you do because they're giving orders to let you handle your business. It's like a big brother or a big sister. He keep messing with you, huh? Come on, let's go back down to the schoolyard. He just standing back, waiting, make sure ain't nobody else doing nothing. Go over there and whoop his. Because if you don't, I'ma whoop yo. And there you go. And when you look up and you see him bagging up like this, you like, oh, it works. Then he come on, take you home. He just watch and make sure don't nothing get out of control. So, y'all, it's the same thing. The same thing that down here, y'all, it ain't no common. It ain't uncommon what's happening. And the way things are moving and grooving. Go ahead, bro, read that.
Romans 11 and 35. Or who have first given to him, and it shall be recompensed unto him again. For of him and through him and to him are all things, to whom be glory forever. Amen.
So you get your mind straight. Whoever gave a gift to the Lord first, like like they made the Lord. Who is he receiving something from that he has to listen to us? Once you get in your mind who the supreme being is and what he requires of you, obedience more than sacrifice. Y'all, we can make a sacrifice to come down here every weekend. But if we don't get obedient to these scriptures, we're going to have a problem. Every time a new thing pops up on Facebook, there we go chasing it. Man, they saying this dude could be the Antichrist. He on the earth now. Man, they say people worshiping him. And we just do this. What that mean? Y'all know what we talking about. This all you got to do is do this. And then what? You see what's up there, the sun and the moon. It can't be the Antichrist. All that's going to be knocked out before the Messiah come back. That ain't the Messiah. Just do this, y'all. It ain't a whole lot of work. Just do this. You see that's up there. But we'll get intertwined. What? He is from England. And they say his daddy was a Rothschild. What the hell has they got to do with that? Did we finish that?
Yeah, that was it.
1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9 through 16. Y'all, we ain't got long. We just got a couple more. I want to run through these minutes, y'all.
We're in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written.
But as it is what?
Written. I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yah hath prepared for them that love him.
And what has he done? Prepared. See, everything is about preparation, y'all. If we don't get preparation back in our life and get ourselves prepared for the Lord to see us and accept us, it's going to be a problem. He said, I go away to do what? Prepare a place for you. He's going to get the kingdom. Everything must be done by preparation. Ain't nothing willy-nilly or right on the spot, so to speak, that we do anything haphazardly. Preparation gets everything where it needs to be. You have to prepare to deal with the Most High. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 10. But Yah hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of Yah.
See, the Spirit searches the deep things of Yah. If you want to know what's going on, the Spirit is going to search the deep things. You're not going to get them from mankind. Mankind will tell you something so crazy, and then the next breath, right back here to seeing like it ain't nothing. Like, how do you tell a man it's 338 degrees below zero when the sun is on this side of the moon and there's no atmosphere to block the cold, the direct cold, and then you build a suit that can't stand the weather in Antarctica that's only 40 below? How are you going to deal with 300 below and you can't send machinery into Antarctica that's only 40 below at a certain time of the day? So with their own mouths, they confound themselves to get a lie across. But you know why they do it? Because we want to be up there in NAZARENE, looking for an escape route from what's coming to this planet. Judgment. That's all it's about. You want to escape judgment. A light year is 6 trillion miles away. They say we just saw a new planet that life may be able to be there. 38 light years away. 38 times 6 trillion is what? You see how far away that is, and they got you thinking about that. They say maybe we can escape. It'll be so far away from the wrath of God. Let's read some more.
Verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of a man which is in him?
Right.
Even so the things of Yah knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yah.
See, so the spirit of man, we know man. We know how we get down. Man, I knew that nigga back in the day when we was such and such. But the spirit of the Lord, the spirit of God has to tell you about him and instruct you concerning him. You can't get this from any other spirit. The second mind don't have that. You can't curse God and then have the Holy Spirit. That's why Satan can't do miracles. That's why Satan can't predict the future. He can show you wonders and different things like that, sleight of hands, because he's supernatural. But he has no power to control any of these things. He got to get you involved with it to help tear it down. He don't get that power. You can't curse the Most High and his Holy Spirit come within you. It just don't work. Go ahead, brother.
Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of Yah.
Right.
That we might know the things that are freely given to us of Yah. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth,
right,
but which the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual.
What do we care about that boy in that wheelchair? No disrespect to that, but he's called a wise man. The Most High say, I will destroy all the wisdom out of the wise men of Teman. Anybody called Albert Einstein, you know what they call wise? People who come up with something that will destroy the entire planet. Right. The atom bomb. He split the atom. He's called a wise man. This man saying God don't exist. We actually come from people 20 billion years ago. These are they wise men. And we chase their wise men that don't have no end to nothing and say, well, we can't explain that. It's one of our theories. And what is a theory? Something that can't be proven by fact. Anytime y'all hear the word theory, get rid of it. The evolution theory. It can't be proven by fact. So why are we sitting here entertaining and arguing with it? Unless you want to hear something, there's a bit of doubt about the scripture. Maybe God don't want me to know how old things really is. And you start entertaining. Then you start looking for movies. How old is God? And you start looking up YouTube videos. Wonder why God don't want me to know part 1 and 2. You just sitting there. He'll tell you what he wants you to know. It's contained in here. Let's get some more.
Verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit of Yah.
So the natural man, just a man using his 5 senses, is not ready to elevate to his conscious level, can never understand the Spirit of God. He's almost on a plane of foolishness because he will never elevate. He's a natural man. Y'all, we have to become what Adam was called preternatural. That means elevated above the natural state. And then if we found worthy and he say, well done, servant, we move to supernatural. But preternatural, look these words up. Look up natural, then look up preternatural. P-R-E-T-E-R, natural. It's going to say outside of the natural realm.
Yeah.
A lot of times they see that happen to us and they say we on what? PCP. Everything we do outside of the natural scope, they say we either on drugs that they created that makes them supernatural, or some will just lay it on the line. Well, that he got that in his mama's womb. That's supernatural talent. That's a God. And when they only attribute a God-given talent to a certain people, they understand, we just don't. A lot of us are preternatural coming out of the womb like Samson. It was told, John the Baptist, he will be born with the Holy Spirit riding on him. Prophet Jeremiah, I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. So supernatural, they're coming out preternatural, waiting to get to the supernatural state. But if we fall back into natural, y'all, we got to, and the only way you fall back to natural is you start, everything you do is based off of your second mind. You don't care about trouble. Well, that's what it is, then. I go to jail. Nigga, don't mean nothing to do 25. I do 25 on my head. I don't want to do 25 seconds on my feet. In there. You are bragging about how long you can be locked down like it's nothing. Like, I'm like, chill, dog, he for real. You think you can do 25 standing on your head? Second mind doctrine starts to flow and it becomes all of the rap lyrics. Nigga, I can throw away all my inheritance, nigga, yeah. I can do 25 on my head, nigga, yeah. Let's read some more.
Verse 14 again.
Lord.
But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of Yah, for they are foolishness unto him.
What are they?
They're foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
See, y'all, these things are supernatural, how we have to go in our closet to get our answer, to stay on this one-track mind. You can't listen to outside sources.
Neither can he know them.
Neither can he know them. Y'all, them naturals don't understand the word, neither can they know it. Go ahead, bro.
But he that is spiritual judgeth all things.
What does he do?
Judgeth all things.
Some things.
All things.
See, the Spirit will let you look at every matter, because it's not common to man what's happening to us, and make a fair judgment on the situation that's going on. You can look at it when you're supernaturally in tune to the first mind. Go ahead, bro.
Yet he himself is judged of no man. For who hath known the mind of the Most High, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Hamashiach.
See, and this is why you read the scripture. You have to put on Hamashiach. You have to wear him like your favorite garment, so you know the mind of the Most High. If you don't put him on and put somebody else on, you wearing second mind doctrine. You wearing his clothing. It's going to be out of cup. Everything going to be from the perspective of a natural man who cannot understand spiritual things. It's why they keep going natural about the birth of the Messiah. How you going to fix corruption with corruption?
Right.
You think you can clean mold with mold? Nigga, you got mold spores everywhere, and you go dig mold out of somewhere else and just keep doing it like this. Pass me some more mold.
Sounds very unhealthy.
So in like manner, the corruption of our flesh couldn't be that. It couldn't be that. But yet, they want to keep us a natural man. They say we can die and come back at least up to 300 times. To get it right, I got 300 times.
Yeah, right.
And then how you know what time you on?
Right.
Dog, I'm running out of time, literally. I'm at 265. I ain't got that many more to be messing up. Before you get it right, you could have 3 million times with that mindset and they ain't gonna never get right. Because they all escape routes of obedience that lead you into disobedience. Go ahead, did we finish that?
That's it, my brother.
Let's get right to Matthew 5 and 8. Psalm 19, 7 through 10. Let's hit them two. We're gonna move through a couple, y'all. We're gonna get on out of here. Y'all, but what we're trying to do is get our mind on this one track so the Holy Spirit will deal with us. If you keep listening to your second mind, it ain't coming. And the fruits that come out of your mouth gonna be second mind, natural doctrine, because you're gonna go back to your old self.
Yep. Your own mouth bears witness against you.
Yeah.
Everybody, even if they claim not to believe in the Bible, everybody say, I should have followed my first mind. Everybody in the streets, everybody on Wall Street, everybody. I should have followed my first mind. They didn't yield to their first inspiration of mind and went with their second mind, just like in the garden. Same exact thing, and it usually costs you. Usually make you say, dang, I should have followed my first mind.
Where do you think that's coming from? Where do they think that's coming from that makes you say that?
Dang.
I mean, you ain't read the Bible because we ain't reading it in the Bible. We ain't been taught to read about what automatically clicks in you and make you say that. That where you get to the point that you know that first voice is the righteous voice.
Hey, look, Dan, even in the cartoons back in the day.
Yes, sir.
You feel me?
Yeah.
On both shoulders.
What they have on both shoulders? The devil on your left.
The good angel on one shoulder, the right shoulder, and the bad angel on the left.
Who talks first?
The good angel. Come right on in.
Don't do it.
You all good, do this, that, and then here come the devil. Turn over that left shoulder.
Right.
That earth. They not just making this type of stuff up. You know what I'm saying?
Angel all soft.
Yeah. The good
Right. And they always, the devil always shows you what you're gonna be missing. Wild women and fun. He'd stand up with that pitchfork and just pull that curtain back, and you see all that activity is going on. And the good angel tell you, bro, you don't want that.
You sure right.
And he like, you want this? You want this? Look again. There you go.
Yeah. It caused rappers like Biggie Smalls to rap and say he ain't want to go to heaven. He'd rather go to hell. The thing about heaven, it's all boring. Everybody in whites.
It's boring.
Playing violins all day. Singing opera. Nah, I'd rather go to hell, you know. Yeah. Have a woman give you some fellatio, smoke a joint or something. You feel me? And you got a whole era of people grow up and influenced just by that.
Lust of the flesh.
You know what I'm saying? Tupac. You know,
Thug's Mansion.
He was giving the Most High orders. Pac was giving the Most High orders. He said, you can take me in heaven and understand I was a G. Did best I could. Raising this insanity, or send me to hell. Cause I ain't begging for my life.
You see that? You ain't gonna beg for.
Like, bro, you don't got no rank to be talking to the Most High. Like, you know, this is what it's gonna be.
Right.
You can either accept me the way I am or not.
Right. Who have given counsel to the Lord? Right. You think the Lord want to hear that counsel? Look, I don't want to hear none of that. Look, either you can take me the way I am, thugged out, or I don't want to be there.
Well, nigga wrote burn gravity.
Then he got that Thug's Mansion.
There ain't no negotiations on the table dealing with the Most High. This is not negotiable. It's just not what it is. You feel me? Look, you got a whole generation of people raised under that vibration. You know what I'm saying? And that just one, because he's called an icon. You know what I'm saying? They still arguing over this man on the internet on YouTube right now.
New movie just come out.
They arguing over Tupac. Cats that wasn't even around him arguing about whether he was a revolutionary or a gangster or a prophet. 21 years after his death. To this day, it's one of the hot topics on YouTube. Everybody arguing over Tupac.
Oh, y'all, get in there.
He was an icon, what they call, or a demigod, a god, to where whatever he say, the whole generation gonna take it as face value. Yeah. So if he say it, then you got millions of young jokers raised up under him gonna take the same mentality. You see? dangerous, man. And look, it's even more dangerous if you got that spoken word and you using it for evil. And you got the crowd, you got whatever you say the crowd gonna do, and you gonna take that and use that to influence them to be evil. You got a lot of blood on your hands.
A lot of blood.
A lot of blood on your hands. You're gonna have to actually answer for it. You see, so that's dangerous, man, for you to think you can just be negotiating with the Most High about the soul He loans you. You feel me? Like you gonna come up with your own stipulations and terms and negotiate with the Most High. Look, you either can take, like heaven ain't popping if you ain't there.
Right. Ain't that something?
what that mean for the Most High? The madness, man. We gotta get this right. Gotta get that right. All right. Where we at, Hebrew?
Matthew
5 and 8. Yeah.
That's on you. It's on Zebediah.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 8.
Go right, read down to verse 12. Yeah, 5 and 8 through 12. Y'all, and this is what a lot of times they call the Sermon on the Mount. Or this is reintroduction of the Melchizedek order. You know, because he's telling you what constitutes blessings. See, a lot of people don't do it. This is where you get a lot of understanding. Oh man, the Messiah sounds like he done weakened down on us.
Yeah, whatever.
But he's telling you, your civil war, Mal is doing classes on civil war in Israel. You got to realize who you gonna be at war with every day. Who your problem is with every day.
Every day.
We can look and see what's happening to Donald Trump and we just say, man, that's white folks' business.
Yeah. Simple as that.
That has nothing to do with us. These are top elite leaders at war, at a civil war with each other. And you see how they dealing with us. That's not for our concern to be talking about, oh, see them Democrats, boy, they on their head. We got to figure out why my mother, my sister, my brother don't want to hear this word. And we're at war with each other about the word of the Most High. One of us is trying to push second mind doctrine on the other. One of us don't want to hear first mind doctrine. Do right. Until it's too late. Let's read some more.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 8.
What it say?
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahweh.
What shall they see?
Yahweh.
Right.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yahweh.
And see, Paul said, be at peace with everyone if it's possible. See, he didn't just say, go everybody, no, I ain't gonna do nothing, I want peace. He said, if it's possible, be at peace with all men. Peace with all men means you're gonna be able to sleep at night. If it's drama, somebody gonna be up listening. You're gonna be sleeping with one ear open, not one eye. Waiting that you think you heard something, that window sound like it let up, or was that alarm that chirped on the back door, or did it sound like that was my car door open? You can't live like that. That's not life. If you got that drama in there, pray to that air force of angels and they'll be sitting out there watching the car for you. Just like this. You think that's a coincidence that they got gargoyles on them churches and stuff? Them the demons they got protecting them. They sit out in front of their churches like this. Just like this. The Billikens, the gargoyles, all of them are demonic demons that guard their wickedness. And it scares you before you come in there, so you frightened when you get in there. And then that music. But we at a feast day and you see somebody you don't like or you heard about them, you like first thing, here this nigga come. Hey man, how you want to be around all Israel? You won't accept John Brown, but here come him over here talking this stuff. You know he a troublemaker out on faith, but you hear this nigga come. How you gonna have a good time after that? Because you looking for him to do something crazy, so you watching him. So you can't enjoy because you watching for foolishness to say, I told you so. But the script tell us if they get to that point that where you have to say, here he come again, get rid of him or her. They have to be separated from the body so that this don't take place. Or how you gonna have enemies at the feast day? How you gonna have, because once you say that, and I'm standing there, I'm waiting to listen, what's the deal, man? Yes. Yeah. And all you gotta do is do these type moves. What that mean? What that mean, man? You like, man, damn, he must have really done messed up bad. Oh, boy. Go ahead, let's read some more, y'all. We run out of time. Let's hit right here, y'all, Romans 12. Did we get that Psalm yet? No, give me that Psalm, y'all. Psalm 19, 7 through 10, and then give me Romans 12, 1 through 2. Yeah, I want you to blow that up, because we're coming to that next right after that Romans 10. Y'all want to speed it up, and then I'm just going to hit a couple, y'all, and y'all write down the rest of what causes problems, you know, after you're listening to your second mind. This is what you face. See, the book is fair. It's on both sides of the coin. That's right. It instructs you on, if you keep on listening to your second mind, this is the result of second mind belief. Because it's belief, it's doubt belief. It's always thinking something else, or how can I get around this to do that? It's going to always be pain.
So, where we starting at?
Psalms chapter 19,
verse 7 through 10. But on the Jasher, when you get that, I'll just chapter 9, verse 5. Yeah. Y'all, we're going to hit these last couple, y'all. We're going to get on out of here.
Psalms chapter 19, verse 7.
What it say?
The law of the Most High is perfect.
What is it?
Perfect.
See, so when me and Noah was found perfect, Abraham was found perfect. So y'all, this is what you're trying to get to being called perfect. And it ain't far-fetched, because he called Abraham perfect. He said Noah was found perfect. And y'all, what perfect means, they had a practice that they were doing, and they became skilled in it and understood it to the left. I got a problem coming up, I don't know what to deal with it. My perfect law tells me go in the closet and talk to the spirit and get the spirit in tune, so I get it back in my inbox, so to speak. And then you're made perfect, and then you're called my servant. Yo, perfect ain't the thing like how we kind of use loosely today. If you in trouble, you argue and different things. Well, I'm not perfect like you. No, you can't use it from that perspective, because what you're doing is you're saying, because you're trying to keep the law, I'm being punished for it. Unless you're trying to consider yourself perfect, that I don't do no wrong. And we all know better than that. We all know better than that. But what you are doing right, don't take a step back from it. Be bold about it and say, you're absolutely right. I've been practicing that law. To quit that. And I'm made perfect in it. I ain't did it. When last time I did? They have to go way back before this and bring it up. Well, that was a long time ago. I ain't on that no more. But if they say yesterday, 2 p.m., it's a problem. You got some more practice. What you got here now?
Matthew 5:49.
What it say?
It say, be ye therefore perfect.
Be ye what?
Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Yes, sir. You have to put that right here. Yo, see, that's how them second witness work. When you say, how we get our precept? Just what he did, and put it right here with this Psalm 19 and 7.
So he tells you it can be done, right?
Right. That's Matthew 5 and what?
48.
48. And then I'll go over to Matthew 5:48 and put Psalm 19 and 7.
That's right.
Yo, so you got your minimum 2 in your study game.
That was a jewel, I mean.
Yes, sir.
Y'all take heed to that. You know, or in other words, your Bible should be hit up with precepts.
Yeah.
You feel me? Especially sitting up in here, brothers be throwing them out all day. You should be hitting your script up, bang, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, bro.
Psalm chapter 19, verse 7. The law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul.
Doing what?
Converting the soul.
Yo, see, the converting of a soul is first done in the mind. Then it converts the soul, which is your supernatural self or your consciousness. It converts that. Go ahead, bro.
The testimony of the Most High is sure, making wise the simple.
See, so a conversion of soul, there's a testimony that's made you wise, not dumb. You should be saying, my soul was converted away from wickedness, not promoting wickedness. That's no converting of the soul. That's converting of the back to the old flesh. Go ahead.
The statutes of the Most High are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Most High is pure, enlightening the eye.
See, so we keep seeing this in both Old and New Testament, the word pure. So how do we even entertain tampered with? Unless it's a second mind doctrine. Once it gets on that second mind, you start wondering, well, the scribes did write that. What did the first mind say about the scribes writing? This second mind is going left field with this because it fits a second mind agenda. That's the reason it sounds like that. But the only problem with that, what part of it can you trust in? If the scribes wrote it all, what part can you trust? If his pen is in vain, you're saying, well, his pen wasn't in vain in the book of Jeremiah. His pen wasn't in vain in Luke. But this chapter, it was vain as vain can get. And you're supposed to be trying to figure that out. The devil sit back and laugh. Well, whoo, he said, my job is easy. Go ahead.
The fear of the Most High is clean, enduring forever.
How long is enduring?
Forever. The judgment of the Most High are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb.
Right.
Moreover, by them is thy servant warned.
What is thy servant?
Warned.
See, that's your first mind. It's a warning according to this. This say these are warnings. Ain't nothing wrong with warnings, y'all. We got warning signs all over everywhere. Before you got your license, you had to know what the warning signs was, didn't you? The pass. Yield sign. Don't run over here. Don't cross over there. Go ahead.
Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is a great reward.
See that great reward, y'all, in keeping them, that's what we after, that great reward. Y'all, this is not minuscule like they making it. Like little babies with Pampers on, that's what heaven is, and it's cold, and people, only thing you can do is ice skate. People sitting on blocks of ice, that ain't no fun there.
Little babies with Pampers on.
Did we finish that? You down to verse 12? Okay.
Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret fault.
And see, this is not talking about the Most High, it's talking about you. Who can cleanse his errors? Or what was it?
Who can
understand his errors? So you have to find out why I'm doing the things I'm doing. What is causing the problems that I'm having? And when you go to the doctor, he puts you back on your first mind. He puts you back on your diet, which is your first mind, don't he? And he say, if you can't listen to your first mind, I'll give you the second mind. It's called a prescription. Take 3 of these a day and be careful. Make sure you eat something when you take these a day. Well, how long do I have to take these, doctor? Till you decide you want to get back on your first mind. You decide. Let's speed this on up. We get out of that one. Where we at? Did we read that Romans?
That's where you're going next, right?
Yeah, Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2, y'all. And then I'm going to hit just this little bit on Abraham, y'all. We got a couple scriptures we're going to get on out. I'm going to give y'all the ones of second mind listening. We just write these down and y'all study them for time's sake. But they're very powerful for what happens when you keep following your second mind. And these people have shown you, like say, even cartoons. What animal was under the sink on the Flintstones? A what?
Pig.
So he's eating trash. Can we blame the Flintstones? And this a caveman knowing the law. So ain't nobody without excuse, is there? Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. Go ahead, bro.
The book of Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Present your bodies a what?
A living sacrifice.
Right? See, so y'all, that's why he said I'd rather have obedience more than sacrifice. Your body has to become a living sacrifice. I don't care about you throwing no he-goats and rams on the altar. I want your body to be a living sacrifice. I want you to make the sacrifices inside of here. That could be routine. You hear people call a lot of time, what are we supposed to do about the Passover? Are we supposed to get all this out? You got to make your body a living sacrifice first before you do that. That's easy to do. Crackers, 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 crackers here, crackers there. Put them all in a bag, put them in the trunk of the car. Ooh, who was that? Tell that nigga I ain't here. And you just put all your leavening in the trunk?
Not all of it.
Right, not all of it. Not all of it. Let's read some more.
Present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
Which is your what?
Reasonable service.
This your reasonable service. If you can't get nobody else corrected, can't you at least get yourself right? At least they'll look and say, he used to be wild, now he didn't change. That's your reasonable service, to do self-check. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
By the what?
Renewing of your mind.
Y'all, old dogs can learn new tricks. When you look at it from that perspective, a renewing of your mind, you can learn the laws all over again. It ain't never got to a point of where you too old to get this word. It ain't never too old. Too old is when the death angel come and tap you on the shoulder and say, that's it. That's it. That's too old then. Because you gone, ain't no wisdom or knowledge in the grave. But y'all, this could come at you at 70 years old. You find out the truth. Go ahead, bro.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
Y'all see this perfect keep coming up time and time again. Perfect. Perfect. Y'all, this don't mean don't nobody sin or they boo-boo don't stink. This means they understand the will of God for mankind, to bring us back to righteousness, that we dwell in the kingdom free of what we seeing on CNN. Free of that. Free of shoes over on bacon and a 7-year-old girl get the brunt of it. A bullet to the head. Because Negroes warn about you standing on this corner of the government block. No taxes being paid. No nothing. We just standing out here and we run this. And then when the police pass by, you run. And then come back out and threaten your family members in the neighborhood. Let's read some more.
Verse 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly.
To think what?
Soberly, according as Yah hath dealt to every man the measure of faith.
Every man a measure of faith. Think soberly. So you get a certain measurement and you ask for increase of that. But you got faith. You just got to ask for increase. Everything is going to be without excuse. Y'all, ain't nowhere you could point and say, well, Lord, I'm different. It's like homosexuals looking for a church to find, and they say I was born this way, So you're saying God made a mistake and you're looking for a righteous outcome. If you're saying he made a mistake at the beginning, what is the outcome you're looking for at the end?
Right.
If he couldn't get you together in the womb, he gonna get you together over here. And when we hear what the get together is, it said, let me switch in that kingdom the same way you made me. But see, that's a lie of the second mind. You can't be born in sin. Sin is transgression of the law. You're born with corruptible flesh.
That's right.
Of the sin that went down in the garden. But you born today, the clock don't start ticking till you reach the age of accountability, which is puberty. Then the Lord start working on your sins. But before then, you to die before that, the Lord called that innocence. Do you put charges on innocence? If you do, and it's found out the charges are wiped away, right? He was innocent, they let him out. Well, the Lord knows innocence right off the top. And he can tell what's innocent and what's guilty. And y'all, so we need to understand these things. Go ahead, man, because we're running out of time.
Want me to keep going?
Where you at?
Verse 3.
Yeah, you want to go to
Verse 10. Oh, no, hold on. Yeah, just 1 and 2.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. We can hold that, y'all. I'm going to just get right to this Jasher. It's still on you, man.
Yeah.
Here, just read this, chapter 5. And y'all, this is, we're going to get to right here, chapter 9, I'm sorry, verse 5 and 6. Give me Genesis 26 and 4.
Chapter 9 in Jasher, verse 5 and 6.
Verse 5 and 6, y'all. And what I want y'all to see here is Abraham, a man that was found perfect and keeping of the laws. And we see everything that he went through. But he was actually, in this point, told that if you make it to the kingdom, you're going to see him. He never said that, I let it come out of his mouth, that y'all going to see me in the kingdom. He never did that. But the writings are clear for us that Abraham, who kept it perfect, is going to be in that kingdom. If you make it, you are going to see who Abraham was, who he is, and who will be in the kingdom. You are going to see that if you make it. Let's read. Where we at?
Jasher.
So up here, y'all, Jasher, chapter 5, we're just going to read them a couple verses, and we're going to see how long, chapter 9, verse 5 and 6. Okay. And we're going to see how long Abraham been doing this thing. To become perfect. Y'all, it don't happen overnight. Go ahead now.
The book of Jasher, chapter 9, verse 5.
What it say?
And when Abram came out from the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem. And he remained with them to learn the instruction of the Lord.
What was he learning?
The instruction of the Lord.
Right.
And his ways. And no man knew where Abram was. And Abram served Noah and Shem, his son, for a long time. Verse 6. And Abram was in Noah's house 39 years.
How long was he in there?
39 years.
And
Abram knew the Most High from 3 years old. And he went in the ways of Yah until the day of his death, as Noah and his son Shem had taught him. And all the sons of the earth in those days greatly transgressed against the Lord. And they rebelled against him. And they served other gods. And they forgot the Most High, who had created them in the earth. And the inhabitants of the earth made unto themselves at that time every man his god. Gods of wood and stone, which could neither speak, hear, nor deliver. And the sons of men served them, and they became their gods.
See, so we see what happened, but we see Abraham, 3 years old, y'all, he started studying these scripts. 36 years he was in the house, 39 years total. You know, Abraham was getting lessons. Then he came out ready to rock and roll.
This was before Moses got the law of Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
The law of the Most High been in the earth then,
And you see now that we have in Luke, I'm just telling you right now, Luke 16:22, there's a place called Abraham's bosom. Y'all, can you imagine the righteous holding spot for all saints after Abraham are named after this individual? His bosom. Or the holding spot up here for righteous souls. Genesis 26 and 4, y'all write that down, 4 and 5. Abraham kept all the commandments of the Lord. Yo, this way before Mount Sinai. Under which order though? Melchizedek order, y'all. So Abraham was on that higher conscious level and his understanding, but started at 3 years old, y'all. So when we got shorty class in here, y'all, it ain't out of scope to have them that young knowing about the Most High and who he is. You got to start them young.
So he had him in his heart and not on stone.
Absolutely. So his mind was fixed. Y'all, and I just gave y'all the scripts because we ain't got time to read them. Just want to hit one of these that basically when you follow second mind, hit me Matthew 15:19. And y'all, these are just a couple on second mind, y'all. We're going to close on out. Matthew 15:19, Proverbs 28:26. Y'all, we hit them two and we'll close on out.
Second mind.
Yeah.
Should follow my first mind.
Y'all, we say that and you ain't been to church in 100 years. When you looking through the mirror and that police behind you, whoo, them lights on and you just done picked up a bird.
Oh.
You trying to become a chemical entrepreneur.
No bird.
You studying to become a chemical entrepreneur. Them lights on you. You looking up through the mirror.
No time soon.
And we shoot by. And you like that.
Throw them drawers away.
Throw them drawers away. Because if you had to go to the hospital, the doctor throw them away. Because that's going to scare you to death. But do you quit at that point? Do you listen to that siren that flew by and you know that was 20 years on the table? May have been a second or third offense. Do you quit at that point, or do you take the Lord's name in vain and say, well, it must not have been meant to happen? And the devil said, get on back out there. He wasn't after you. You selling righteous dope.
Righteous.
To who?
Righteous dope.
If it hadn't been for you, he'd have pulled you over, wouldn't it? Nigga, you better get that money. That's the devil. Well, you better get that money, nigga.
Shorty can't eat no books, babe. It's money, dog.
Right. That's what the youngster told Mal. Mal breaking up some script. Had the books. Shorty can't eat no books, B. He like, man, I can't take none of that to Salama Market. Well, you ain't gonna feed them no more for the next 20 years when them lights start flashing again behind you. How Shorty gonna eat then? B. Go ahead, where we at?
In the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 19. Everybody there? For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts.
What kind of thoughts?
Evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornication, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man.
So right here, this was Pharisees about what defiles a man. They were saying if you don't wash your hands right, you can't drink that devil's juice. He told them this is going to defile you every time, because all this second man's doctrine, what they teaching to you. This is what's going to get you locked up. Not you out of sync with man's flesh because you didn't wash your hands before you ate that hamburger. So them the rules we under now. You can hold that, y'all. I just wanted to get that read verse 20 though.
These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man.
So he wasn't telling you to eat with dirty hands. He was just telling you, comparing doctrine of second thoughts. You're so concerned with my hands being clean. You think my hands clean, but I'm being disobedient, supersedes what the law is saying. I wash my hands. You can't wash sin away. Right. No more than a woman could jump in the shower after being raped and wipe rape off. It ain't coming off because it's up in there. And you got to live with it up here. The same as a man. Same thing. You can't wash it away unless you wash it away with the word. Because your mind have to be renewed at that point. And you have to understand the evils that's in this world. And then you have to be second guessed. You're thinking, why did the Lord allow something like that to happen to me? Why would he let that happen to me? Because it's evil in the world. You didn't ask that question why he let John the Baptist get his head cut off. You didn't ask why the Messiah took all Isaiah 53. You ain't asked that one. You just enjoying the liberty of it. Because quiet as kept, you couldn't have no freedom of religion in no other nation. So all he did for you, you ain't questioned none of that, but you gonna question this. Because it's you. Get your mind right like Job. Naked I came. Yeah. Naked I get out. Because anybody come in here with clothes on when they was a baby? No. You born with Tim's and come out with a pair of Levi's on and a polo shirt, born? No. Let me go out the same way I came in. So I can get great treasures. Where we at?
In the book of Proverbs.
28:26.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 28. The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 26.
Read on down on that.
He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool.
Is a what?
Is a fool.
See, in your own heart, that's your second mind. That's my thought. Well, I feel. Well, I think. How you gonna tell me? How you gonna judge me? Well, you're hollering a lot of things that the first mind said not to do. Let no man judge you. So those words shouldn't even be coming out of your mouth. You should be judging you. You should be self-checking. Am I following first mind? Is this right to where no man can judge me? I don't have to repeat to you not to judge me. I'm just going to look at you. What? If you have to repeat to me, and this is what happened with scripture, you don't want to find yourself guilty and you start repeating you to somebody else because you ain't been to class and nothing, or you ain't been. The first thing they say, I'm going to get back down there, man. I know I've been slipping on my studies. And well, you already done examined you. What you want me to do? Judge it? Bruh, when you get yourself together, we in the bottom of the Sears building. Ain't no need to keep going through here what's been going on, because you're going to give me a whole list of things and you're judging yourself, and then an hour later you're going to be angry. I can't believe I told that nigga that. I actually told that nigga I was. Now you got to think of something to get back at him. Because that's what's going to happen, because he knows you done revealed your inner self, and now there's judgment out there about you that you released out of your own mouth. And now you're thinking, why did I tell him that? It's the same way of hitting enter on anything out there and it goes to cyberspace. Ain't no unringing the bell. Ain't no unringing the bell. You put a picture out there, they gonna get it. They gonna get it. Where we at?
Verse 26.
What did it say?
He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered.
Oh, man.
He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse.
So y'all understand what that means? And this don't mean just everybody you see on a street corner begging with a sign and you do this, you hide at your eyes. Do, 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 do. What? Do, do, do.
They'll come up and knock on your window.
Yeah, so it don't mean that, because there's a lot of hustle game out there. But when you hide your eyes from the poor, meaning that the fact that if you have to look away from somebody versus give them, just look at it and just let them know I ain't got nothing today. You don't have to say it. You can just look at them and go on about your business. You understand in his plight, but at least you're getting a good look at them. But if you turn away and turn your eyes from the poor, you don't know. And then you turn to the poor left here so we don't forget how to give. But hustles are out here. And like I say, the gas station hustle is the biggest one. Run a car out of gas and put it right there and stand there with a gas can. Bro, I need $2 trying to get over here. And next week, the car is run out of gas in the same spot. And you got that same gas can. It's like, bruh, some insanity going on here. What route you taking? You keep running out of gas right here. Or you going too far around, man, maybe we can cut you through the park or something and you get home safe. This way ain't getting it. What you got back there, G? If your heart tells you to give it to him and you think no second thoughts, do it. If your heart tells you no second thought, give it to him. So it's not that it ain't just saying just give to any report. If you look at somebody that's struggling, you know, if you was out there with a sign and they hand you $1, no, you a heathen. I don't take money from heathens. And your belly grows.
Yeah, break them off.
I don't take money from heathens. And then your brother pull up, nigga, get a job. And they pull off your own people.
Yeah, break them off.
Right. $1. Nigga, get a job. No, man. Y'all, we have to use wise judgment on yourself. Once you get yourself out there, if that is, color is off limit. If you see somebody out there, color is off limit at this point. Because you're talking about a life that has the same blood that came through Adam. It came through Isaac. So this blood came through there, you know. And that blood is going to be back maybe a servant of yours in the kingdom. You don't know what you're stacking up for. That dollar may turn in treasures for 1,000 years by this servant. Not telling you just every time you see somebody dough in your pocket, but examine the situation, and if you feel that way, have no second regrets, no second thought. Don't let the second mind come back in and say you shouldn't have gave him nothing. He probably gonna go buy some liquor with that. Keep driving if you feel like that. That's the second mind telling you that. If he go do something that he, other than that sign say, then he gonna heap coals upon his own head. But don't be a flunky for the sign, that's all I'm saying. Understand the situation, because we gonna have poor. Here, we'll be poor overnight. Every one of us is tomorrow to say, the mark of the beast is here. Everybody report to the post office for your registration.
What you gonna do?
Everybody poor at that point.
Exactly.
What you gonna do?
Oh,
Mike Jordan in that line?
No, yeah, he's getting chipped.
That's what I'm saying, but he's
already got it.
in that line. You're talking about $1 billion. But y'all, a $200 check from the welfare office is going to be turmoil on us. If it's gone, we know how to work $200 to make it last for 30 days. If that's gone, it's gone. You got to go back onto your old game, or you got to live spiritually, because the devil coming. You ain't ate, just like he did the Messiah. No, you ain't ate. No, you ain't ate. What you want? Bam! Rally's 2-pack. Bam! Mark of the beast. Just sign here.
Worst kind of food, rallies.
Yeah. They ain't offering steak and lamb. They offering you dog food. Matrix food. Camel, lettuce, pork, and mustard. Where you gonna sign? Right here or right here? Where you gonna sign? Y'all, those days are coming, y'all. We got to get prepared for them. Was that the last script, y'all?
We got verse 28.
What it say?
When the wicked rise,
right,
men hide themselves.
That's right.
But when they perish, the righteous increase.
That's right. That's it. So y'all, we can hold there. I had a couple more that write these down for me, Yaki. Luke 12:34, John 13:2, Proverbs 3, 5 through 7. And all of these, y'all, are on the second mind.
You said John what?
John 13:2. Luke 12:34.
Gotcha.
And Proverbs 3:5 through 7. All of these are on that side of continuing to listen to second mind. I don't care who you talking to, huh?
John 13:2.
John 13:2.
It's on the board.
Y'all, so y'all, this is what we're trying to get the understanding of. I can't be your first mind. Malachi can't be your first mind. Your first mind has to be the Lord. We can relay the information of the first mind, but you cannot depend on man because you trust in man then as the first mind. And you let a man get a hold of your trust, a man will have you doing things you ought not be doing as a man just because you've given him that power over your soul. Every leader of these so-called camps want to dig in a man's rear end like he do a woman. When you give him that trust of your soul.
Show got committed to
Wickedness.